We're straight. Okay, if I can get in with our home, then why I can't get in with KB? You know what I'm saying? Why I can't get in with DR Horton? Why I can't get in with the Pineapple Corporation? Why I can't get in with this company, this company, this company? You know what I'm saying? Like I already told you, I know exactly what I have to do to make $1.5 million in revenue. If I can make 1.5, I can make 3. If I can make 3, I can make 6. If I can make 6, I can make 12. And then you'll sit back and look at it. You're doing that off of cleaning? Yes. Because I'm not satisfied. You know the reason being I'm not satisfied with that way. So you want to get to the point if you have something that I don't want to do day-to-day operations. You do that when you start. I want to set it up where I can slide in and duck my head off and I go over here and go do this. You know what I'm saying? And then go over here and do this. I don't want to be around here talking like, yeah, man, I got to go to the office today. Yeah, my office is wherever I'm at that day. I send somebody else, they handle it. I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? You got nothing to do with that. Then with any business, you got to have an exit strategy. Because businesses end. Not very many businesses go on forever. Eventually they end. So you have to decide how you're going to get out. What you're going to do. Are you going to leave it to somebody? Are you going to sell it? You know what I'm saying? What you going to do with it? Because there's very few businesses that last forever. There's some businesses you know that they've had long staying power. But it's not a lot of businesses. Yeah, Coca-Cola been around for a long time. You know what I'm saying? General Electric been around for a long time. What's going on there? They've been around for a long time. I'm thinking some others, you know, like the DuPonts, they've been around a long time. You know, Heinz, they've been around a long time. But it's something about how they set their stuff up to have sustainability to go for that long period of time. You know, every business that you start, though, like I see these dudes talking about it, right? Like, okay, Cameron went to selling Ebola masks. Cameron knew that that's not going to be no long term, but they made like $2-3 million a year. You know what I'm saying? So start that on the deal. Like you looking at major record labels, they finna go down the drain. They're not gonna have the power that they had because of how things have changed. Because you have the internet now. You know what I'm saying? So they're not really needed like they were 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? You don't actually need them because you can go directly to the consumer. You can cut them out. You know what I'm saying? Because album sales don't sell like they used to. Like when I was young, 16, 17, it was nothing to hear about, oh, dude got to sell. If a dude didn't sell $200,000, 200,000 units in a week, his album flopped. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing to hear about, oh yeah, bro went gold first week. You know what I'm saying? Oh, cuz sold 2-3 million records. You don't hear about dudes. Dudes don't even talk about record sales. That was a big deal when I was in high school and first talking about record sales like me. I remember when DMX came out and he dropped 2 platinum albums in the same year. You know what I'm saying? That was 98, like, boom, It's Dark and Hell is Hot came out at the beginning of the year, that went platinum. End of the year, he came with Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, that went platinum. You'll never hear about nothing like that again. For what? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got it to the point now that if you have a particular product that you sell, that you don't even need a store to sell it. You know what I'm saying? 20 years ago, 25 years ago, you would have had to have a storefront to sell clothes or sell oils or sell whatever. You don't need nothing now. Now you don't even have to pay a lot of money for marketing dollars now because you got Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. It's free. And you can touch the whole world with it. Not just the dude, somebody in your city. You can market to the whole entire planet just by pressing send. You know what I'm saying? That cuts a lot of people out. And if you know how to execute it, see, it's different like what I do. We can put that stuff on the internet. That's a service, which is precluded to a particular area. You know what I'm saying? But a product, though, oh, man. Have a store for what? You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to take that stuff, man, and use that stuff to your advantage. It's free. Niggas use Facebook to be playing around, playing with it. You know what I'm saying? Talking about nothing. Instagram to post pictures about nothing. It's a dude that I follow on Instagram, man. Dude got a code line called Super Duper Fresh. Cuz started that itself. It's for workout clothes. It was something that he wanted to do. Cuz made that happen, and he's doing pretty well for himself. That man don't probably spend no money on no marketing dollars for what? I got the internet. That's why you think a lot of dudes blow up with the word that they be preaching, because they be pushing that stuff on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Man, you can put free commercials on YouTube. Wherever you can do it at, you can reach a large group of people. And you don't have to pay no money. All you're paying is your time. You know what I'm saying? So it's just execution. The idea is nothing without execution. You know what I'm saying? That's no different with the word. The word is nothing. You can know the word all you want. It's nothing without execution. You're just somebody who knows something. But you're not going to get no gain or no profit from it. It's just how you look at stuff. That's why we were talking about, what we were talking about? We were talking about that franchise stuff. Like, I couldn't start a franchise unless I was already straight and somebody else was running it, because I'm not gonna run it. I don't have that time. I don't have time for that. You know what I'm saying? I just was talking to the dudes yesterday, like Michael Jordan need to do this here with his shoes to help black people out. Niggas so dumb, niggas don't even know he don't even own that. You know how many black people think he owns them shoes? He don't own that brand. He don't own that logo. He didn't create it. You know what I'm saying? For real dudes, if you was walking to the average black person and ask him, oh yeah, Michael Jordan, does he own Jordan brand? They gonna think that he do because his name's on it. No white folks own that. He don't own none of that. Jordan brand is nothing but a subsidiary of Nike Incorporated. That's all it is. They told this dude, we'll give you your own company under our company. Because I just seen another article they were talking about where they hid his agreement with him on what they paid him. Because Jordan don't manufacture no shoes. Nike handle all of that. They just cut him a check for his name. That's it. And he get to pick who gets to be Jordan brand athletes. But Nike handle all that. Nike paid for the marketing. Nike pays for everything. This nigga just get hundreds of $millions a year for his name. Like that's why KD didn't leave Nike to join the Under Armour, in my opinion. Because he waited too long to copyright and patent that KD logo on his shoes. And by the time he went to go do it, Nike had beat him to it. Because if he would have left, he would have had to come up with a whole nother logo. Because Under Armour was offering him a lot of cash and stock in it. See, if he owned that logo, he probably would have left because all his fans would have followed for that logo. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to come up with a whole different logo and branding. So you can't take that brand with you. So he ended up staying with Nike. I don't think he stayed with Nike because he wanted to be with Nike. I think he stayed with Nike because of the brand. Who? Yeah, Kevin Durant still does shoes. You know, Kevin Durant shoes are very, very popular. You know what I'm saying? No, they still make them. But see, he was about to leave for Under Armour like 2 years ago.
But Steph Curry was
Yeah, I mean they are, but see, branding is very, very important, especially when you have a product. You know what I'm saying? I just seen my man Biggs Burke, the dude that started Rockefeller with Jay-Z and Dame Dash. He was talking about the difference, like they did with Rockefeller. He was like, they had Jay-Z attached to that. He said that he would never do that again, have the brand attached to an artist or a celebrity. Because if that celebrity or artist fame or popularity wanes, then it could cause the brand to dip. Versus if you just have the brand and it's separate from this person, that can never affect that. Like, you know, Louis Vuitton has been around for a long time, but they didn't start selling clothes. They made luggage for Louis XIV, if I'm not mistaken, or Louis XV, a ruler in France at that time. You know what I'm saying? That's why this clothing line has been around so long. You know what I'm saying? A lot of other clothing lines like Dolce & Gabbana ain't been around that long. Gucci ain't been around that long. They've been around a long time. Even Ralph Lauren ain't been around that long. It's only been around like 50-some years. There's very few clothing lines you can look at. Like I say, Louis Vuitton started selling clothes. They started out selling luggage. They are a luggage company. You know what I'm saying? That is their main thing that they sell is luggage. Now you got bags and all this other type of stuff because they went to move to what the market wanted. You know what I'm saying? But these people sell luggage. Yeah, you good, bro. You know what I'm saying? You have to sit back and look at that, right? It's no different. Like we went over this a long time ago. Matter of fact, in that room over there, about a year ago, talking about how the master was the most quintessential hustler that ever existed. Because he self-created something. And if you look at the framework, it's ran like a business. And you know, and you have a brand, and you have to protect that brand. So while he talks about not blaspheming his word, you know what I'm saying? By your actions and what you do, because what you do can make his brand look bad. If you say you under, like it says in 2 Timothy, if you name yourself after Mashiach, depart from iniquity. So if you run around screaming, I'm a Yasharah, I'm a Mashiach, and you commit sin, you make his brand look bad, which is diminishes his value in the eyesight of others to where they don't want to shop with him. You have to literally look at it that way. They don't want to do business with him based on how you are representing this brand. You know what I'm saying? So if you got a brand and you doing something, you have to protect it. That's why he say, you profane my name among the heathen. Now I got to come through and sanctify it and make it great again. Because y'all got my brand. You got my name out here looking bad. You know what I'm saying? We don't look at it that way. Because you're not representing yourself, you're representing him. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think some people get fired from some company they work for, or some company be spying on their employees, Facebook, and all this other type of stuff? Because they don't want anybody that could bring shame to their company's name or brand. You know what I'm saying? And they will get rid of you. That's why you see these companies be like, oh, why Nike want to fire Michael Vick for fighting dogs? It isn't necessarily that they wanted to get rid of him, but they're looking at the negative backlash from what he had done. This is going to make our brand look bad. You got to go. You know what I'm saying? They did Tiger Woods the same way. Okay, you wild, we don't fire you, but you can't, we ain't run no commercial with you. You know what I'm saying? No, we straight on that. You out here hitting all these holes and all this stuff you got going on. We don't need that type of heat. You know what I'm saying? That's how the people feel. Because they're gonna look at the brand is more important than you. And they're gonna get rid of you. And that's how the Most High look at it. His name is more important than you. If you selling his name, he just get rid of you. You know what I'm saying? That's all they're gonna do. I'm just get rid of you. You're not gonna have my name looking bad out here. We don't look at it that way. And not just with the word, just up here. If you look at it that way, you might be more inclined to be more focused on how you represented yourself and what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, clearly, that woman who sacrificing chickens in her closet, she don't get that people see that. Like, I gotta say, I don't know who Azalea Banks is. I have no knowledge of her whatsoever. I don't know what she make. I probably never heard of her song.
She sacrificing chickens?
Yeah, she made the video and uploaded it and said, look at my closet. I gotta clean my closet. There's 3 years worth of chicken blood. I got my sander here. You know what I'm saying? And she's in there. You can see it. Yeah, I didn't see that that long.
She crazy. I know she a rapper, though. She is a little off the wall a little bit.
I wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? All I know is this whole crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because she called out what she was doing, which I heard it before. It's Santeria. You know what I'm saying? It's black magic. That's what she was pretty open with it. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? Anybody got a problem with it? Oh well. She was like, you know, when you got to keep these spirits in your house, it gets kind of weird because you got to take care of them. This is what she's saying.
She's taking care of her.
Oh, I can't do it after I do it. Dang, I can't even do it. Oh, I can't do it. Hold on, Zach. I mean, people crazy. People do all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been looking at the little thing, right? Y'all know about Scientology? How many of y'all ever heard of that? Y'all ever heard of that? You know, that's a religion, right?
Tom Cruise.
Yeah. I mean, you just know about it because Tom Cruise is famous. But there are very, very many famous celebrities that are a part of that. John Travolta, Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, all that. But it was started in 1964 by a science fiction writer named L. Ron Hubbard. You know what I'm saying? And the lady, Leah Remini, how you pronounce her name, that played that dude's wife on King of Queens, she was a part of it. And now on A&E, she's doing a series of exposing it.
Talking about the young lady?
Yeah, his wife.
The fat dude's wife?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was a Scientologist. Yeah, I knew that, but she's exposing it now about the stuff that go on. Like, they have stuff like they want you to cut your people off. Like, if your people don't get down with that, then you got, but it's a lot of people that could Jehovah's Witnesses do it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of Hebrew camps do it. I know IUIC do it. Somebody leave IUIC, they tell them to delete that person off all your social media accounts, and don't nobody have no dealings with them. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, we know this here because nigga was told that if they had called me, that they were gonna get put out of the congregation that they were in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't see nowhere in the book where you sit back and you look at it. If you sever someone from around you, you sever them from around you because they could be detrimental to your salvation, not just because they don't do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Because my daddy or my mama or my cousin or my sister, my uncle don't follow the word doesn't mean that I can't have any dealings with them. But you have to be careful on what type of dealings that you have with these people, knowing that they not own what you own. Some people will respect it, some will not. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be prepared for that. See, you know, the number one thing you get messed up, well, that's my family. They don't respect what I'm doing. See, again, you think it's about you. They hate your God. They don't respect him. Because if they respected him, they would tremble out his word and do what he says once they heard it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't respect that. So you can slide through like, I don't celebrate Christmas. Don't bring no Christmas tree to my house. You got some people ain't got no problem bringing Don't, oh, I put it this way, let me rephrase that. Don't buy no gifts for Christmas for my children. You know what I'm saying? And you'll have people buy them gifts anyway. You know what I'm saying? Or, okay, I want to watch the kids. Okay, that's cool, don't feed my kids no pork. I'm going to feed them what I want to feed them. You have people who feel that way. They at my house, they're going to eat what I put in front of them. I eat pork, they going to eat pork. Because that's how some people feel. You know what I'm saying? You have, most of y'all probably been mocked or laughed at by someone that was close to you, whether friends or family, for something that you chose not to do anymore because the words say not do it. They feel like you're stupid. You know what I'm saying? And they laugh at you and crack jokes and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? That's just the reality of it. See, nobody like to tell people, like, nobody want to deal with that. That, hey, man, just because that's your people according to the flesh, that doesn't mean that necessarily they actually love you as Yah defines somebody loving you. They may love you on a natural level, but on a spiritual level, they may not love you. Because they don't care what happens to your soul. Someone who loves you cares what happens to your soul. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want you to go to hell. So I wouldn't put you in a position to where you would go to hell. You know what I'm saying? Or I wouldn't bring that around you or promote that to you. You know what I'm saying? Satan don't care if you go. Because he know he going. So he's trying to see how many people he can get to go for it. And if somebody's not really engrossed in the word, then he can use them at any time. And he's usually going to use people that you care about, because that's usually going to be your biggest weakness. That's why the master told you had to. See, people take that verse in Luke where he say you got to hate your father. He's not telling you have to hate them. You can't put them above him. You know what I'm saying? So if it came that your wife wanted you to do this, but it would cause you to go against the word, then I'm going to put the word before my wife. You know what I'm saying? You just going to have to be mad. You know what I'm saying? Or my kids, you just like, oh, you're depriving them kids. I ain't depriving them from nothing. They wouldn't know about Christmas if you niggas didn't push it in their brain that they had to have it. Why do I need to go buy them? See, it ain't for the kids, nigga. That's not why they created it. Go back and look at why they created it. They didn't create it for no kid. A white man in an office building created it for some kids because he knew you would go spend your money. When they initially created it, children were not there. I heard a dude just the other day say that there's nothing pagan about Christmas. And that just because it's not in the book doesn't mean you can't. And I'm sitting there telling you, like, the whole holiday as we presently know it is constructed off of a lie. So why would you follow it? Like, put all that scholarship up to the side. Does the book say this man was born on December 25th? No. It doesn't say that. So that means the whole thing is built off a lie. Then you have to sit back and look at nigga, crazy nigga. December, the name December didn't even exist at the time the man was born. They tell me, oh, you trying to say that's Nimrod's birthday? And you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to say nothing. I ain't trying to say nothing. I know that ain't nan Hebrew nowhere had a month called December. Because if you're going to say the 12th month, the book would have called it Adar. So they would have said the 25th day of the month of Adar, not the 25th day of December. That right there is a red flag. You know what I'm saying? Leave that alone. Leave that alone. But dudes feel like it's nothing wrong with it. And if you don't feel like there's nothing wrong with it, hey man, do what you want. That's how I feel about it. I'm just waiting on Will, man. That's how I feel about it. And that's why I was telling y'all last night. If people want to do certain things, celebrate certain things, then let them do it. Leave them alone. Because you're not going to change their opinion. You know what I'm saying? By no word. You know what I'm saying? If you show it to them one time and they don't hear it, you may show it to them another time, leave them alone. Just keep doing what you're doing, and maybe that'll change their opinion. Just live it. Come across somebody's head. You know, Bruce will come out and start right by the middle of November. Go to talking about how Christmas paid and all this type of stuff, and they ain't converted nan person yet. See, I knew Christmas was pagan when I was in prison. I learned that in prison. I didn't really care about Christmas after I got grown anyway. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing about it. It meant nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? It's just another day. A day when they want to spend some money I ain't got. You know what I'm saying? But once I seen the information, I'm like, oh, I'm straight. I wasn't on the word then. I'm straight. I don't want nothing to do with this. They talking about sun gods and solstices and all this other type of stuff, man. Why would I want to follow that? And I was already had the mind frame up. I don't want to follow anything that Caucasians created. That's how I was thinking at that time. You know what I'm saying? Period. I don't want nothing to do with that because I already know this has nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? That's why I didn't deal with Christianity when I was younger. This has nothing to do with me. I don't want nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? then she didn't raise us like that. She didn't talk about it. She didn't take it to church. So all it is, I got older and learned more about white supremacy and all that type of stuff. It just emboldened that attitude of I'm good. You know, you want to go to church? No. No. Why not? You need to learn. I don't need to learn about it. Nothing. Because if he's white, I'd rather die and go to hell. That's how I felt. Because if you don't sit here and tell me God white, and y'all can treat me like this here, and he stamped that, I don't want nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Period. That's how I felt. 17, 18, 19, 20. That's how I felt. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? If you say your God stamped you stomping my women out till that baby fall out and then stepping on his head and using my children as alligator bait and burning us alive and spraying me with water hoses and all that there, and you telling me I need to pray to him? I'm good. I'm straight, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll just get this money and smoke weed before I serve that. My conscience would not allow me to participate in that. You know what I'm saying? Not Christianity. Oh, dude. You know what I'm saying? Niggas feel how they want to feel. They can feel like I'm racist. I don't care. You know what I'm talking about? They don't bother me now. I was straight. You know what I'm saying? When they're looking at Islam, looking at that, I say, I don't want nothing to do with this neither. Because this ain't got nothing to do with me neither. Now, I will tell you about 16 years old, I felt like something came in my mind like, you need to know this book, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to know what this book says. You need to understand what it means. But I knew I wasn't going to rock with Christianity, though. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody tell me not to rock with it. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at every day I go, I'm oppressed by the people who look like this. And you're telling me that God looked like this. And I need to bow down to pray to this when I'm not even going to bow down to you standing in front of my face? I'm good. I'm good. I ain't bowing down to no white man, period, under no circumstance. You know what I'm saying? If it came down to me bowing down to a white man or dying, I guess you know what I'm going to choose. Because I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Under no circumstance. And I don't care who's offended by that. That ain't got nothing. If Arabs was ruling over us in this country, and they did, and it was set up in the same way, I feel the same way about them. If it was Africans or Asians, I feel the same way about them. It ain't got nothing to do with the race. It's got to do with what they did and how they kicked their game. You know what I'm saying? I'm straight on that. Because if I was in the Middle East, well, the Arabs got us under subjection like that and tried to cram Islam down our throat, I feel the same way. Man, I'm not buying out these niggas. You crazy? You know what I'm saying? You want me to serve a God that look like you, and you treated me like this here, and you think I'm going to follow that? Nah, bro. Nah. Well, I guess Allah don't have to kill me, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not on that. I just had too much self. Some people look at it as pride. I just had too much self-respect. This ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't see why people like to attach ourselves to stuff that ain't got nothing to do with us. You know what I'm saying? If that ain't got nothing to do with me, then how's that going to benefit that baby back? How is Christmas going to benefit that baby? That's a custom that ain't got nothing to do with us. You know what I'm saying? That ain't, I'm talking about when I say that, that's because the custom's supposed to be tied to Mashiach. So that means I'm supposed to be able to go in this book and see where his birth is a plan of salvation and how that relates to me. I can't find that. I want to do it. You know what I'm saying? I want to do it. People get offended by it, so what? See, the reason why I say like this, people say, well, where's the love in that? See, like I said, right, I can be bold, I can still love you, but I'm straight. See, I ain't going to cover that up and act like, that's a coward move. You know what I'm saying? Because the master wouldn't kick his game like that. That doesn't mean that I'm going to beat you across your head about what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Or spew certain stuff towards you about what you're doing. But I'm going to let you know, I'm not rocking with it and why I'm not rocking with it. And if you're offended by that, I'm going to just tell you, man, start standing up and urinate instead of sitting down. You know what I'm saying? Be a man about it. Because nobody has a problem with coming to ridicule us for following his book. You know what I'm saying? You don't see me getting all emotional and crying. What are you talking about? My God, how you feel? They don't bother me, man. Shoot, I know you should. Don't bother me. And you feel like you're right, then why would you get emotional about somebody telling you why they're not doing what you're doing? If you feel like what you're doing is right. How many of y'all ever were doing something you know you were right and somebody felt like you were wrong? Did you get upset when you know what you were doing was right? Like you know you was in the right? Did you get emotional about it? So why would I get emotional about it if I feel like the word of you were right and they got something to say about it? Or if you feel like Christmas is right, why would you get emotional about it? That's how I feel about it. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Why would you get emotional about it? If you feel like Christmas is right and I tell you I don't want to follow it, I feel like Christianity is white supremacy and oppression by a certain group of people, and you feel like I'm wrong, why would you get emotional about it? You would only get emotional about it because you know I'm right. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just looking at the history of what was done with it. What you did to my people with this ideology, with this thought process. I don't want nothing to do with that. I'm not going to follow that. You know what I'm saying? Period. I'm not gonna follow that. I'm just not gonna do it. You can do what you want. I'm not gonna do it. It's the same token that somehow people find out that we bruise and they take it and they beat other nations across the head with it, and it make them not want to follow that. You know what I'm saying? That's not what he told you to do though. You know what I'm saying? He didn't tell you to go treat them people like this and treat them people, because they didn't do Rechab like that. They didn't even do them two men in the book of Joshua that came up and act like they came from a long distance when they brought that moldy bread and all that stuff. They didn't do them like that. They just say, man, why you lied to us, bro? You didn't have to do all that. He said, because you lied to us, you're going to be hewers of wood and drawers of water. You're going to be servant. But you didn't have to lie to us. You know what I'm saying? Did he do Naaman like that when he came to get healed of the leprosy? No, he didn't do it like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a fine line how you play it. Because dudes like the kid. I heard a dude say, how you going to give our kingdom to somebody else? Number one, it ain't my kingdom. I didn't create it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get me a slot. So how am I going to stop somebody else from getting a slot? Because all like I told y'all before in time past, they got the attitude of Jonah. When he saved Nineveh, Jonah was hot about that. He didn't want them to save the people. You know what I'm saying? But like y'all told him, he said, hey man, these people can't discern from their left hand to their right. You know what I'm saying? Should I not save them? Dude, be wild. Let me see this. Y'all feel all right with that? You know, that's just my opinion. That's how I feel. That's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying you got to do that. But I'm just telling you, that's how I felt when I was young. I wasn't with it. Remember my cousin went to University Christian? She would pull out them books and every character in that book was white. I wasn't feeling that. Yeah, where you at, man? Yeah, where you at? Oh, you out there with them. Man, you could have told me that, man. I mean, where's that, though? Oh, yeah, you got to roll, man. I'm waiting on you. You could have told me that. Yeah. Yeah, out there with the I can't take that trip. Got to go later. I'm in dress suit, my own suit. My wife would be because we having a baby suit. She gonna have to wait till the word gets dropped. I'll be running late. Shoot, come on, Derek.
You got a charger, I mean a plug. I said you need a charger.
Man, you got an iPhone. You got a charger up there with it. Yeah. I was gonna put it on that TV and stuff. Maybe till 3, 4 in the morning. I'm gonna try to I got a couple things to look at. Let's go ahead and pray, y'all. We got to clean up. Father, we thank you for allowing us to gather like how Shabbat. We thank you for the word. We thank you for all the things that you've done. We ask you to direct and guide us. The whole house of Yasharal to the Yahweh first. Also to the heathen, all those that walk before you in Ruach and in truth. But that mercy be upon them. College apostles, prophets, teachers, and synagogues, and assembly of Yahuwah in the four corners of the earth. Move them with a word this day, that thy people might be edified and that esteem might be brought to thy name. Remember our fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the word which you covenanted with them, that we might be humble, that our hearts might be circumcised, that you might guide us according to truth and righteousness, that we might become the sons of Elohim, and you might become our heart. Remember Jerusalem, the city of salvation, which you chose to place thy name, cleanse of the uncondemned through the fire, and plant back the people of thy condemnedness in that place, that we might sing praises to thy name continually. Remember, similar to the firstborn individually and collectively, and let the love of Mashiach dwell in our hearts by faith. Guide us and direct us according to truth and righteousness, that we might do the things that are pleasing in thy sight. Lift us up according to thy word, according to thy truth, that we might be quick in the life everlasting through the Ruach HaKodesh. As we proceed further, Father, we ask you for a work on how word, truth, and righteousness to come to us, that we may know that is true, we are in him that is true. Even our son, Yahushua HaMashiach, this is the true Elohim and eternal life. Father, we give praise, esteem, and honor to the Most High Yahuwah, by Hashem, Yahushua, this day.
So be.
All right, well, we give praise, esteem, and honor to the Most High Yah by way of his son, Yahushua HaMashiach, and John chapter 5, and verse 39. John chapter 5, verse 39. You ain't got to put it, you already know I know that's it. Well, search the scriptures, to end them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me, and you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. You know, that's what a lot of people's problem is. They don't have the love of Elohim in them. That's why they don't get eternal life, and they won't come to the man who got it. Go to Jeremiah chapter 35. Jeremiah 35, verse.
Say 35 verse 1.
Yep. 35, go ahead.
The word which came unto Jeremiah from Yahuwah in the days of
Yeah, go
Jeroboam, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, saying, Go into the houses of the Rechabites, and say unto them, and bring them into the house of Yahuwah, into one of the chambers, and give them wine to drink.
Give them what?
Give them wine to drink.
Give them wine to drink. Go ahead.
Then I took Jezaniah, the son of Jeremiah, the son of Habazaniah, and his brethren, and all his sons, and the whole house of the Rechabites. And I brought them into the house of Yahuwah, into the chambers of the sons of Hannah, the son of Igleah, a man of Elohim, which was by the chamber of the princes, which was above the chamber of Messiah, and the son of Shalom, the keeper of the door. And I set before them the house of the Rechabites.
He said he's the keeper of the door. So this is the guardian of the word. Right? Go ahead.
Pots full of wine and cups. And I say unto them, Drink ye wine.
And what did they say?
But they said, We will drink no wine.
Why did they say, well, go ahead.
For Jonadab, the son of Rechab, of our father, commanded us, saying, Ye shall drink no wine, neither ye nor your sons forever. Neither shall ye build house, nor sow seed, nor plant vineyards, nor have any. But all of your days ye shall dwell in tents, that ye may live many days in the land where ye be strangers.
So what do y'all think about what he just told them to do? But mainly the last part. He told them they can't build a house, no sow no seeds, no plant no vineyard, no have any, but dwell in tents, that they may live many days in the land where they be a stranger. Now, what land are they dwelling in? I mean, he's going to tell you in a minute, but what land are they dwelling in?
Are they in Babylon right now?
No, he's not. They're not Babylon. They didn't. He's going to, like I said, if we go further, he's going to tell them not to leave. Do you know who else dwelt in the land where they were strangers, even though they were in their own place and lived in a tent?
Was it either Abraham or Jacob?
Yeah, Genesis chapter 25. Yeah.
Which one was it?
Abraham. Didn't Abraham live in the land of Canaan?
Yeah.
And he was a stranger in it, even though that was the land that was promised to him. Isaac lived in the land of Canaan, and he was a stranger in it, even though it was promised to him. Jacob lived in the land of Canaan, and they all dwelt in tents. They didn't build no house to live in. It's the same token that the master dwelt in the land of Canaan and was a stranger in it. About 25 and 2.
Then again Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah, and she bare him Zeran, and Joshan, and Medan, and Midian, and Ishbak, and Shua, and Jokashan begat Sheba, and Deodan, and the sons of Deodan were Ashurm and Letishurm. I don't know how to say it.
You good?
And the sons of Median, Epat, and Ipper, and Hanak, and Abida, and Elada, and these were the children of Keturah. And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac. But unto the sons of the concubines which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts, and sent them away from Isaac his son, while he yet lived, eastward unto the east country.
So what country?
to the east country.
Drop down to verse 11. Make it 10.
10. The field which Abraham purchased of his sons Heth, there were Abraham buried and Sarah his wife. And it came to pass after the death of Abraham that Elohim blessed his son Isaac, and Isaac grew up by the well.
Isaac was dwelling in the land, he was a stranger. What's another place where you talk about dwelling in tents? It's another place to tell you about dwelling in tents. You know what that place is? You know what place I talk about dwelling in tents? And what were they dwelling in tents for? No, I'm talking about like a specific reason. It was a tabernacle. No, he told them to construct the tent. You know what I'm saying? For a specific reason. You know what I'm saying? Now let's go back to Jeremiah 35 and read verse 17. Look what he told them not to do. Now they get the commandment from their father. He told them don't drink no wine. He said neither you nor your sons forever. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Verse 7. Neither shall ye build houses, nor sow seed, nor plant vineyards, nor have any, but all your days ye shall dwell in tents, that ye may live many days in the land where ye be strangers.
Now let's look at something, right? Go get Hebrews chapter 11, verse 4. He said that you can dwell in the land where you be a stranger. Many days. And you look at many days, you know, it's an extended period of time. Let's look at Hebrews, make it 12.
12, verse 5. Oh.
Yeah, Hebrews 11 and 12.
Therefore spring there even of one, and him as a good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky in the multitude, and as the sand which is by the seashore. He says, these all died in faith, nor having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them that embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims of the earth.
That's what you sit back and you look at this, what's going on with the son of Rechab. He tells them to be strangers and be pilgrims in the earth. There's certain things that you can't do. They were confessing that they were strangers. He just said that you could be dwelling in a tent in the land where you be strangers. You know what I'm saying? Now you sit back and look at it right now. We supposed to be dwelling in a tent in a land where we strangers. Go ahead.
For they say such things declare plainly.
So if you say that you're dwelling in a tent, or you dwelling that you're a stranger, you say plainly that you seek what?
A country.
Mm-hmm.
And truly, if they had been mindful of the country from whence they came out, they might have had an opportunity to have returned.
Mm-hmm.
But now they desire a better country, that is a heavenly.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore Elohim is not ashamed to be called their Elohim, for he had prepared for them a city.
A city. Go ahead.
By faith Abraham.
That's good. I'm gonna come back. I got the 35 minutes and I'm already up. Now look at what the son say in Jeremiah 35 minutes. Look at their response. Because they're getting asked to drink some wine. They say, no, we're not gonna do it. It says, thus we have obeyed the voice of Jonadab, the son of Rechab, our father, and all that he have charged us to drink no wine all our days, our wives, our sons, nor our daughters. So they made sure that not only that their wives didn't do it, but their offspring didn't do it. That they followed this same pattern of behavior. He said, nor to build houses for us to dwell in, neither have we vineyard, nor field, nor seed. But we dwell in tents, and have obeyed and done according to all that Jonadab our father commanded us. But it came to pass when Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up into the land, that we said, come, let us go to Jerusalem, for fear of the army of the Chaldeans, and for fear of the army of the Syrians. So we dwell at Jerusalem. So you see, they were in the land dwelling in tents. They didn't leave. Say, then came the word of Yahuwah unto Jeremiah, saying, thus saith Yahuwah of hosts to Elohim of Yasharah, go and tell the men of Yehudah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, will you not receive instruction to hearken to my words, saith Yahuwah. Now, why do you think he would make this response, looking at what these young men just said they did as it came to their father? What you think he's talking about? Why do you think he would tell them, will you not hearken to my instructions to receive my words? Now, remember what word did we just look at the other day that means instruction? It means Torah. And then also we know Torah also means a prophetic message. He's asking them, how long is it going to take you for you to learn to do what I tell you to do? Now, you sit back and you can look at what their father just told them to do. There's no law in the Torah that they can't build no house or can't plant no vineyard. But what you're seeing is somebody that's decided to do the will of them that birthed them and not their own, because they easily could have went against it and did what they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Get Malachi chapter 1 verse 6. And after Malachi chapter 1 verse 6, John chapter 6 verse 30. It was just a grand culture because we were talking about this last night, where it comes in that, so those that said it's their father that gave them this instruction. So what you're seeing is that it was not their will that would be accomplished, but their father's will that would be accomplished. And because that you're going to see that they did their father's will, Yahuwah ends up rewarding them for it. See, there's a reward for actually following instructions. And he was using that as a point to show how these men hearken to the instructions of their father, but you niggas won't listen to me, which is what he's going to get ready to tell us. Malachi 1 6.
A son honoreth his father, and a servant his master. If then I be a father, where is my honor? And if I be a master, where is my
Now,
fear?
if you don't sit back and say, Yahuwah is our father, then where is the honor that is due to his name if you will not hearken to his voice to receive instructions? You know what I'm saying? Because his voice is in the word. You know what I'm saying? How many times do you say, hearken to my voice or hear my voice? Go John 10 to 25. Because if you're going to sit back and say that he's your father, then where is his honor that's due? If he's your father, then you're going to honor him by hearkening to what he tells you to do. Because clearly, they fulfilled the law in Exodus chapter 20 by honoring their father and mother, because they respected their father. Their father said, don't you drink no wine, don't you make no vineyard, don't you build no houses. You dwell in tents, so you can understand what it's like to be a stranger. Why? Because your brethren got taken to be a stranger. Even though you're still here in this land, don't walk around here like it's straight. You know what I'm saying? That goes on to what we were talking about in 1 Corinthians 12 and 25 last night. That one member suffered, and everybody suffered with them. Though they did not depart out of the land, they dwelt in temporary dwellings to suffer along with their brethren who went into captivity. You know what I'm saying? They didn't sit back and look at that. Our pace, they didn't take us. So we straight. You know what I'm saying? We can live like we always been living. He instructed them not to do that. Go ahead.
Yahushua answered them, I told you, and ye believe not. The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. But ye believe not, because ye are not of my sheep, as I said unto you. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me.
So clearly he knew his sons, because they heard his voice, and they followed what he told them to do. See, our problem is that because he's showing the difference between faithful sons and disobedient sons when you look at Jeremiah. Because he gave them an explicit instruction, and they followed it. And they followed it to the point where they say they wives wasn't going to do it. Our son's not going to do it. Our daughter's not going to do it. I'm not just going to take this and say this pertains to me. I'm going to teach it to my wife. I'm going to teach it to my son. I'm going to teach it to my daughter. And we all going to walk in this. You know what I'm saying? That goes along with what he say about training up a child in the way that they go, they will not depart. It's also going on, until you get John 6. Before you read John 6, even though it's talking about a bishop, we'll look at it anyway. 1 Timothy chapter 3, about verse 5. Just to sit back and show you how this person was ruling their house in a particular fashion, because their children were in subjection to what they had going on. His wife was in subjection to what was going on. Make it verse 3. 1 Timothy 3 and 3.
Not given to wine, nor striker.
Not given to what?
Wine.
And that's the same thing he instructed them not to do. Go ahead.
No striker.
No striker.
Not greedy or filthy lurers.
Not filthy lucre, meaning he wasn't greedy for money.
But patient, not a brawler, not covetous. It says, one that ruleth his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity.
And all gravity. So you can sit back that you can see the sons of Rechab had their children in subjection to all gravity. Because don't you think their kids could have bucked like, shoot, Papa, I'm going to go build me a house. I'm going to go sip some wine. But where it came down to is because they seen the example. If the father is not participating in this type of behavior, and then you instruct the children to do it, then the likelihood of the children keeping that instruction is a lot higher than versus if you tell them not to do something and you're doing the opposite. Go to John chapter 6, man, about verse 30. We still holding Jeremiah 35.
They said therefore unto him, what sign showest thou then, that we may see and believe thee? What doest thou work? Our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it was written. He gave them bread from Shamayim to eat. Then Yahushua said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not bread from Shamayim, but my Father giveth you the true bread from Shamayim. For the bread of Elohim is he which cometh down from Shamayim, and giveth life unto the world. Then said unto him, Master, evermore give us this bread. And Yahushua said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. But I said unto you that ye also have seen me, and believe not. All that the Father giveth me shall come to me, and him that cometh to me I will in no wise cast out. For I came down from Shamaim, not to do my own will, but the will of him that sent me.
You say he came not to do what?
His own will.
But to do the will of who what?
Sent him.
That's what we have to sit back and realize that. You know what I'm saying? He said he didn't come to do what he wanted to do. He came to do what the person who sent him wanted him to do. Let's get Matthew 26 anyway, just to 26 and 40. Just so you can, those words need to resonate in your head. Do you think the sons of Rechab, you think they might have wanted to build a house and plant a vineyard? You think they might have wanted to sow a seed? But doing the will of their father was more important to them than doing what they wanted to do. And they held fast to that. You know what I'm saying? They held fast to that. And they ended up getting a blessing because of that. The same way the son got a blessing by being resurrected from the dead and given dominion, and given a name, and given power and authority over death and hell. The same thing can happen with us if we sit back and look at that. Because he's literally, when we come back to Jeremiah 35, you're literally going to see him show the difference between these sons and the house of Yasharal. How these natural men hearken unto the voice of their father, but yet I'm your father of Shamahim, who created all things, and you won't listen to me. Because you know what's crazy is that, matter of fact, something came to my head. Go ahead. Is that we'll listen to our earthly father before you listen to your father that's on high. You'll listen to your earthly father in a heartbeat. Go ahead.
And he come over to the disciples and findeth them asleep, and said unto Peter, what could ye not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. He sent away again the second. And he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thy will.
Go ahead.
And he come over to the disciples and found them asleep, and said unto Peter, what can ye watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit in it is indeed willing, but the flesh is weak. He sent away again the second time and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done.
See, that's the same token of what he's looking at. He just told you your ruach is willing, your flesh is weak. Because your flesh will want to take off and go do something else. You probably plenty of times that those sons of Rechab probably wanted to go plant in the vineyard. Go sow them seed. They looking at everybody else do it. You know what I'm saying? But their desire is they lent to their ruach, they lent to the word and say, I'm gonna follow that. I'm gonna follow what my father commanded me. That's what I'm gonna follow. That's what I'm gonna live. That's the mind that we got to have. That's the mind that they have. We'll come back to Jeremiah 25. I'm in verse 12. Well, I'll read verse 12 again. We already read it. It says, then came the word of Yahuwah unto Jeremiah, saying, thus saith Yahuwah host of Elohim of Yasharal. Go and tell the men of Yehuda and inhabitants of Jerusalem, will you not receive instructions to hearken to my words, saith Yahuwah. The words of Jonadab, the son of Rechab, that he commanded his sons not to drink wine, are performed. Don't you realize when he said that when the sons say that I finished the work that you done gave me to do, I performed what you told me to do. It's the same thing when Paul said, I finished my course, I fought the good fight of faith. These men had no idea what type of reward they were going to get for keeping what their father commanded them to do, but they did it regardless. He said, for unto this day they drink none, but obey their father's commandment. Notwithstanding, I have spoken unto you rising early and speaking, but you have hearkened not unto me. I sent also unto you all my servants the prophets, rising up early and sending them, saying, return ye now every man from his evil way, and amend your doings, and go not after other gods to serve them. You shall dwell in the land which I have given to you and to your fathers, but you have not inclined your ear, nor hearkened unto me. That's why he told him, he said, my sheep hear my voice and they follow me. Because that's all the master was telling him. Is this word is coming and you not listening to me, just like you didn't listen to the prophets when he spoke in their name then. You know what I'm saying? You have to look at these sons right here and really see the difference of their thought process. That they hearken unto their father's commandments, and Yahuwah is using a natural situation to show you that spiritually, how can you listen to someone of the flesh, but you won't listen to me? Look at them, how they listen to their father. And you say, I'm your father, and you don't listen to me. Hebrews 12:9. Make it simple. And this is showing you the framework of why the master say, I didn't come to do my own will. I came to do the will of him that sent me. Now these are natural men who held fast to the commandment of their father. Now if we go scream that Yahuwah is our father, then we should be holding fast to what he said. And see, this is something else I mentioned y'all the other day too, because you don't really see a lot of people call this man their father that claim that they Hebrews do. You don't see many of them that profess to be sons of Elohim either. You know what I'm saying? The reason being because what's in Galatians chapter 4. He said, if you don't receive that adoption of sons, and he sends the ruach of his son into you, and you cry out, Abba, Father. A lot of them don't use that because they know that he's not their father. They know who their father is. I'm talking about dudes that say they're Hebrews. They know who their father is. Their father is Satan. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who they serve. He said, whoever you yield your member servants to obey, that is to whom you obey, whether it be sin unto death or obedience unto life. Most people choose to obey sin. So therefore, Satan has become your father because you follow his teachings and his instructions. You follow his commandments. His commandment is do as you will, do what you want to do. Fulfill your desires, fulfill your flesh. Yahuwah says, trust in me, hearken unto my voice, and I'll show you great things. No, he told you that in Jeremiah. He said, I will show you great things which you have never heard nor seen. You know what I'm saying? We don't really have that desire because when it comes to hearkening to his commandments, just like you've seen with these sons, there's a restriction. But with that restriction, there's a reward. You know what I'm saying? Because the things that I'm restricting you from is for one of two reasons. It's either to keep you from something or to teach you something in order for you to receive something greater than what you were actually restricting yourself from. And that's what we don't want. Go ahead. Hebrews 12:7.
If ye endure chastising, Elohim dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chastised not? But if ye be without chastisement, wherefore all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons.
Not a son at that point.
Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence.
That's what you're seeing with these men right here. They father corrected, they gave him reverence, they respected his commandment, they followed it. Go ahead.
Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Abba of Ruach?
So should we not even more be, because most of, let me say, God, for those of you who daddy was around, you know what I'm saying? Most of y'all gave reverence to him. You know what I'm saying? Especially with young men, if they daddy was around and he was present consistently, they respected him, period. You know what I'm saying? They ain't want no problems with him. Because they know, you know what I'm saying? Pop might put these hands on them, no problem with Pop. So Pop tell me, go do this, go do that, go do this, you going to go handle that. You know what I'm saying? So you'll sit back and look at it, you're going to do that with your earthly father. But your father that's in Shamayim, you're not going to put yourself under his subjection. You're not going to come up under his commandments. You're not going to reverence him and give him that same honor and respect. When he said, if I be a father, where's my honor? And all he said is, where's my respect at? You know what I'm saying? Why you don't respect me like you respect him? That's why you're showing them. Look at how they respected their father, but y'all don't respect me at all. But then you feel like I'm supposed to bless you. You feel like I'm supposed to give you this, or when you're in a down position, I'm supposed to give you comfort. I'm supposed to do this for you. Why? You don't respect me. You don't honor me. Why would I do it? Go ahead.
Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Abba of Ruach and live? For they barely for a few days chastise us after their own pleasure. For he of our profit, that we might be partakers of Kodesh. Now, chastising for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceful fruit of righteousness.
That's not right there. All those that are partakers of it. Now let's sit back and let's look at verse 16 in this same Jeremiah 35. Because of this restriction, you're going to actually get to see that the blessing that they're going to get to receive. Because they hearken to their father's commandments, they're going to receive a blessing that can surpass anything that you can ask this man for. He said, because the sons of Jonadab, the son of Rechab, have performed the commandment of their father, which he commanded them, but this people have not hearkened unto me. Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim of hosts, the Elohim of Yasharal, behold, I will bring upon Yehud and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem all the evil that I have pronounced against them. Because I have spoken unto them, but they have not heard, and I've called unto them, but they have not answered. Give me Isaiah 66, man, about verse 5. See, this is the whole key thing, right? He says his sheep hear his voice. So what this is sitting here telling you is like when this man called for you, like Paul wrote the high calling of Yahushua HaMashiach. The calling is when the word go out. So we say when that word go out and you haven't answered it, And when he called you, I think the master always say, he that have ears to hear, let him hear. And he say, faith come by hearing, and hearing come by the word. So you hear the word, you don't believe it, then you're going to have a major, major problem in your hands. And what you're going to have is what is in Isaiah 66:5.
Hear the word of Yahuwah, ye that tremble at his word, your brethren that hated you, that cast you out.
You know what I'm saying? We were just talking about that Wednesday, right? Listen what he said, your brethren that what?
Your brethren that cast you out.
That, no, what they said? They said they did what?
Oh, hear the word of Yahuwah, ye that tremble at his word, your brethren that hated you, that cast you out of my name's sake, said, let Yahuwah be esteemed.
Notice he said, your brethren that hated you and got rid of you for my name's sake. You know what I'm saying? Against what I'm saying, because you're going to have yourself mentally and spiritually prepared for this. When it goes down, somebody that's sitting in this room could hate you way more than somebody who is not, who don't serve this man. Remember, we looked at it in John 16. That man said, they will kill you and think that they do Elohim service. But they will put you out of the synagogue. Ain't no white man going to be putting you out of the synagogue. Ain't no Arab man going to be putting you out of those synagogue. It's going to be your own people. When you go through this book, you see that religiously that it was people who professed to serve Yahuwah that they hated you the most. Because it wasn't the nations that were killing your prophets. It was you. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't Babylon that put Jeremiah in prison. It was you. You know what I'm saying? You put Jeremiah in prison. It was not the Romans that came up and said, let's just crucify this Yahushua dude. No, you snatched that man up and took him to the people. And then came up, oh, we can't kill him ourselves. You got to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's who did that. That was not the Romans who we read about Peter them getting beat in Acts chapter 5. That was not Romans that beat them. That was you. You know what I'm saying? And the list goes on and on and on. We always killed those who were such unto us. That's why he said, the master told you, they say, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, that killeth the prophets that are sent unto them. You know what I'm saying? We can't look at it, we can't have the mind frame of, because let's not get it twisted. These people in America murder us dead on the record. You know what I'm saying? But they're murdering you because of the color of your skin and who you are. They don't know nothing about you being no Yasharali, just killing you because you're black. We don't like you niggas. We brought you over here to be subjected unto us. How dare you claim that you want to be equal to us? We didn't bring you over here for that. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to that word in this book, well, that was you killing you. You know what I'm saying? And you were killing them because one person works for righteous and the other person works with evil, and the person who works with evil did not like that because that person works who were righteous was a testimony against them. I have to remove this person from my presence. Not only that, I don't want anybody else listening to what they're saying. And Yasharal has always been like that. What did Moses do for them? Well, that wasn't no Egyptians coming up against Moses. When y'all were dropping the plagues on the people, did they scream by Pharaoh? They say, Moses, man, these people gonna kill us behind this. You were just crying about how these people were oppressing you. This man came through and told you your power gonna smash all of these people. And then when he began to drop it on them, they started to treat you a little harsh and a little rough. You forget about what you heard this man say that he was gonna do for you, and you want to blame him when you want to do something to him. You know what I'm saying? Because the reason I've told y'all this before, the reason why people act that way is because they can't take that out on Yahuwah. So it's easier for me to take that out on you. Because I can't see Yahuwah, I can't touch him, I can't smell him. So I can't do nothing to him, but I certainly can kill you though. And unfortunately, you're being told this so you don't be shocked and you don't be offended when the times come. But your own people gonna hate you way more than these nations. These nations gonna hate you because we're going to be prophesying in the name of Yahushua, where they're trying to deceive people to worship this man over here. You know what I'm saying? And your own people going to be just like how they was when they say, we have a king. His name is Caesar. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be cowards and busters and chumps trying to hold on to a little bit of fame and power they feel like they can get from these other nations, that they'll kill you for standing on the word. Because anybody who would do that already doesn't have a proclivity to hold on to the word in the first place. And you have to be prepared for that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't talking about just a regular hating somebody talking down on you, talking bad about you. These people gonna want to shed your blood. Read that verse again. Look what he told you they gonna do now. This is in the old covenant. This ain't in the new covenant. What the master gonna do, I'm gonna tell you what was already been told. These people gonna get rid of you.
Hear the word of Yahuwah, ye that tremble at his word, your brethren that hated you, that cast you out for my name's sake, said Yahuwah, be esteemed.
But get it back to verse 3. I think verse 3 got one.
He that killeth an ox is as if he slew a man. He that sacrificed a lamb is as if he cut off a dog's neck.
A dog's neck.
He that offered an oblation as he offered swine's blood. He that burneth incense as if he bereaved an idol. Yea, they have chosen their own ways, and their soul delighteth in their abominations.
Why is that?
I will also choose their delusion, and will bring them fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before my
This is what
eyes.
he's telling in Jeremiah 35. When I called for you, you didn't answer me. You know what I'm saying? You chose to do what you want to do right before my eyesight. This is why he say he'll cause you to believe a strong delusion that you might believe a lie when you have pleasure in unrighteousness. And all the things that you fear, and all the things that trouble you, he'll bring them on you at one time. He said he will even mock you when your calamity comes and laugh at you. You know what I'm saying? Now you'll have people like, what type of God would do that? The type that I came to you numerous times, and I tried to warn you, and I tried to tell you, and you gave me your butt to kiss. So therefore, this is what I'm going to do. Some of y'all in here got children. Y'all know how y'all feel when you tell your children to do something and they just sit there and look at you like you're crazy, like you ain't even talking. They don't answer nor hearken to your voice. I just told you to come here and sit down, and you ran and did this here. And you said, you know what? Since you didn't want to hearken, wow. Now I done popped you on your behind. Now you holler. Well, you could have avoided all of that if you just would have hearkened to my voice and came here or sat down like I told you. Now, if we want to sit back and you get upset and frustrated when your children don't listen to you, then you have no regard, period, to get mad with them when you don't listen to y'all. Because then you'll show yourself to be a hypocrite. Don't get mad at them children because they don't sit down and be still when you told them to sit down and be still. When y'all told you to sit down and be still and you kept walking. You know what I'm saying? Because this is an example of what he's showing with these sons of Rechab and with Yasharah. They daddy told them, come here, son. Come here and do this right here. They came over there and did it. Y'all looking at Yasharah and say, come over here and do this here. They say, shoot, Dad, I get over here and I get ready. I just wanted those of y'all that got you, just think about how aggravated and agitated you are when you call for your children to do something they don't listen. You know what I'm saying? Now imagine how he feels. The only difference is you don't teach your children a lie. You know what I'm saying? You don't have the ability to cause them to believe a lie. The only ability we have children to call to believe a lie, tell them a fat white man from the slide down the chimney. Or that some bunny is around here passing out eggs when he doesn't even have the capability to even lay one. Because he's a mammal. You know what I'm saying? You know how horrible that is to take small, and you have people feel like, I've just seen a video where a lady say, come out, if you don't believe in Santa Claus, keep your children away from mine. You know what I'm saying? But the point is why do we feel so comfortable enough to look children in their face and lie to them in the face of childhood and imagination? And then you expect them to be loyal and faithful and upright adults who don't tell no lies when you lie to them for 8, 9, 10 years? You taught them that lie was all right. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? It's all right to tell you a lie. Tell lies to your kids when you have them, son. You know what I'm saying? So off the rip, this society teaches us for Satan to be our father. He's the father of lies. You know what I'm saying? He created lies. He told the first one. You know what I'm saying? He told the first one. And you want me to say, and then you want to be upset with me because I don't want to be Satan's child. I don't want to be the offspring of a lie. You know what I'm saying? But then you have to look at, are we telling lies by living one way while our mouth professes that I believe in this? Because now you're a liar in that. Because a hypocrite, by definition, is a liar. You profess to have certain beliefs and ideals that you actually don't practice. You know what I'm saying? Which is in essence will make you a liar. You know what I'm saying? And we know what he say, all lies have their part where? In the lake. You know what I'm saying? So we don't want that. You know what I'm saying? He said, we're persuaded of better things than that for you. He said, the things that accompany salvation, thus we speak. So what are we speaking in this instance, looking at Jeremiah? We're looking at taking the chastisement of your father, receiving his instructions, hearkening to his voice, that you can be a partaker of the Kadeshness and receive a reward. You know what I'm saying? Why get the cutoff for not listening when you can get the Baruch for listening? What I got? All right, where we at? Verse 18. Jeremiah 35, 18. And it's funny too, because look at what the word that's going to be used here, what he say right now. And Jeremiah said unto this house of the Rechabites, thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, the Halim of Yasharah, because you obeyed the commandment of Jonadab your father and kept all his precepts. You know what I'm saying? So he said in telling you his father gave some precepts or some instructions or some commands or some directives. He said he kept all of them. Go to John chapter 15. came up our verse. Let me see. Maybe it's 15. And then after that, John 12:44. He said he kept all the precepts. So then you need to sit back and look at it. You need to be keeping all the precepts of your father. And not just precepts and focus as you looking at command of thou shalt not do this or do this or do this, like we sit back looking at the law, but having that faith and that hope to understand and suffer affliction. Because truth be told, this is what Jonadab was teaching his sons was to suffer. You know what I'm saying? To keep in mind that you're a stranger and that you're dwelling in a tent, in a temporary dwelling place. You know what I'm saying? Because he told you. He told you in John 14, in my father's house there's many mansions. I go to prepare a place for you, right? So he's telling you he's coming to build a house. But until we get the house, like Paul said, we wait to be clothed with our tabernacle from on high. So we groan for it. So right now you're dwelling in a temporary vessel or a temporary dwelling place or in this flesh or in a tent. Because you can pick a tent up and move it. You know what I'm saying? You can't pick no house up and move it. You know that from in the wilderness. When they picked up and moved, they picked their tents up, they got up and they left. You know what I'm saying? And then you also look at, we dealt with the tent, what they did with the tent. They took a peg and did what? Nailed it to the ground. You know what I'm saying? So when you sit back and you looking at him, he's telling them to dwell in the tent, they're telling them to dwell in the sufferings of the Son. Mortify yourself. Because you could have went and sowed the seed. When we look at it, we know the seed is the word of Elohim. You could have went and sowed your own word, probably to your own voice, and leaned to your own understanding. That's what you could have did. You know what I'm saying? You could have planted a vineyard of your own desire and ate the fruits of your own ways. Like he told you, I fill you with the fruit of your own ways. You could have did that. You could have built shelter of your own desire and of your own flesh and covered yourself. You could have did that. But they chose not to do that. So we have to sit back and look at that. That's really what he's pointing to when he's telling them not to do. You could go do your own will, but my son don't do it. You know what I'm saying? That's what we get in trouble at. We like to do our own will. What is our own will as a people? Let's not even sit back and look at individually. That's as individual. As a people, in this book, what is doing our own will ever got us? But pain, captivity, suffering, and death. That's all it's ever got us. So if we see that, then we're supposed to take from that and learn. If we know that everything written aforetime is written for our learning, then we're supposed to be able to know that doing my own will has negative consequences for me. Why would I do that? Nothing good is going to come from it. Then we look at someone who didn't do their own will. We look at a Mashal. He did the will of his father. We see what he received from doing that. Why wouldn't I do that? We look at Abraham, we see the same thing. We look at Isaac, we see the same thing. We look at Jacob, we see the same thing. We profess that we come from these men's lineage, but yet we don't, like he said, you don't do the works of Abraham. So if we say we the seed of Abraham, then we need to be looking at what Abraham did and emulate that. Because that's what the master did. The master came and all he did is he emulated Abraham. He showed that faithfulness, that trust, that hope, that desire to please the person who sent him and not to please himself. You know what I'm saying? That's what people get messed up at. Man, you should sit back and look at that as crude and crass as it sounds. Doing that is just like masturbating. You just want to please yourself. You don't want no assistance. You don't want nobody's help. You just want to do it to yourself, and you end up looking sad and stupid when it's over with. Like, I'm better than this. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, that's how you look. I can't believe I did it. It's just shame. And you know how it's just shame? Because don't nobody want to get caught when they do it. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Just like a little buddy, we didn't see the video in a minute. Like little buddy put them ice cubes, he was shaking. You know what I'm saying? Mama done came in there, well, I ain't doing that. No, you were doing something. Because you didn't want nobody to know. But that's what it is when you're doing your own, because 99.9% of the time when you're doing your own will, you don't want nobody to know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because the minute somebody find out what you're doing, now you shame, you trying to hide, you trying to duck, and you trying to do this here, when you could have just did what you were supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? That's how that is. That's why you, because like I said, everybody being young, you did this here, you like to say, oh, it is at the door. Ain't nobody at the door. You just know you're doing something you got no business. It's the same way if you were young, and you like to look at the dirty books, or you like to look at pornos, you didn't want nobody walking in and catching you doing that. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all, when you was smoking your little weed or tobacco, you didn't want nobody come around the corner catching you smoking. Oh, you like this? What am I mama? Why put the blunt down? Some of y'all ain't care and kept on smoking. 9 times out of 10, because your mama was smoking with you. I tell you, my homeboy mama used to give us weed. She'd have in the bag, like, we'll come back there and get y'all something. Like, shoot, that's a bet we have. No cash. You know what I'm saying? She done came through. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's how you felt. You know, shit, like I said, I ain't tell no lie. I used to duck mom do when I was smoking. Till she knew I was smoking. Ain't no hide it. They don't just be out of respect. I ain't gonna smoke in front of you. I give you that much money. I don't care if you know. You know what I'm saying? Then I used to walk around and be like, bro, you gonna smoke in the open like that? Nigga, my mama and God know I smoke. What am I hiding this nigga for? I done smoked in front of the jailhouse, the courthouse. Man, what you gonna do? Man, I ain't care. I done got out. You people didn't find my weed. I got out and rolled up right in front of them and smoked it. That just for me, just like flipping them a middle finger. Screw all y'all. I got out and I still got my weed. And I was smoking while I kept the bus from leaving. And walked off and was smoking it from the car. That's how I felt. It was a lot of stuff that I ain't had no friends. I didn't care if people knew I sold rock. I didn't broadcast it and announce it, but if you knew, you knew. I didn't know. Yeah, I sell dope. What you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? It's just like they say, when you stuff stay up in the open, niggas use police. You trying to get me picked, you trying to get me a case. Like if you gonna do something and you ashamed of it, or you don't want nobody to know, then that's something you ain't got no business doing. You know what I'm saying? Period. You know how many people profess that that's why you say what you do in the dark won't come to the light. You know how many people walk in this world and do stuff and they don't even want nobody to know. And then you know what they had the nerve to do when they get exposed? Act like it's somebody else's fault or play the victim. Nigga, you the one did it. You know, how many dudes you done seen them caught a case and you like, man, them crackers, man. Nigga, ain't nobody tell you go rob that bank, nigga. Ain't nobody put no gun in you and say, Darius, boy, go in there and rob Community First. Ain't nobody, right? I caught my case, man. I told you, right? I was in the court shoot. I'm feeling ready to go to court. This dude like this here, man, these white folk, man. I said, bro, I don't want to hear that right now, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I got $100,000 bond, so I ain't going nowhere. So I gotta be here with you funky ugly niggas. You know what I'm saying? You niggas crying about a year or two. I'm looking at 3 years of life. I don't want to hear this right now, my nigga. Like, I really don't want to hear this right now. See, bro, you know, God got us in here for a reason. That's what he said. I just looked at this nigga. I said, what? He said, God got us in here for a reason. I said, let me tell you something, my nigga. I said, why ain't sell no rocks for 9 months? I said, you know what happened? He said, what? I said, I ain't go to jail. He said, yeah. I said, you know what happened when I started selling rocks again? He said, what? I'm sitting here talking to you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So don't put that on him, because he ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Because that was a choice that you made. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at the choice that you made, you got to be willing to take the consequences, negative or positive, that come along with the choice that you made. Because nobody has anything to do with any choice that you made. You do something stupid, don't blame the next person for what you did. It's not their fault. You're going to have to take responsibility for that. I hate dudes like this here, bro. Now, I ain't going to tell you no lie. If we all in the car, and there's some dope in the car that ain't nobody person, I ain't taking credit for that. And it can be mine. You be stupid to take credit for it. All they're going to do is take everybody to jail. They're not going to be able to pinpoint it on nobody, and they're going to throw that out. No, if it's not, it's called constructive possession. They can't pinpoint who it belongs to, so they'll take everybody to jail, and they're going to throw that case out. I know because I've caught some, and I know people who have caught some. They can't put that on nobody. That's why they say, well, who dope it is? Oh, it's mine, stupid nigga. Now you got the case. I was in a dope house that got raided. There was dope, guns, and all that. They charged all of us with it, and we got out 2 weeks later. Do all that out. They can't pinpoint who that gun belonged to. It ain't mine. I'm not going to take credit for it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, that's my pistol. Now, I'm going to jail for 15 years. Oh, that's my dope. Now, I just caught another 5 to 10. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do that. But when you sit back, but that's not blaming somebody. But let's sit back and say, this dope is on me. They catch me with it. I know you got some dope. Darius got some dope. And guess this what I'm gonna do. Oh, Darius got some crack too. What? What him got don't got to do with me. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That got to do with you. You know what I'm saying? What I get caught with, that's what I get caught with. You know what I'm saying? What you got, that's what you got. I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's how you sit back and look at it. You got to take responsibility for what you do. Oh, somebody said stop. Don't look like it stop. So keep riding.
Running fine.
Yeah. Somebody can come and say stop. Well, yeah.
They might need to reset their browsers.
I'm gonna read that verse 18 again though. It says Jeremiah said unto the house of the Rechabites, thus saith you who opposed to Ali and Yasharah, because you obeyed the commandment of Jonadab your father and kept all his precepts and done according to all that he hath commanded you, Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, Elohim of Yasharah, Jonadab, the son of Rechab, shall not want a man to stand before me forever. So he just sat back and said that he would not want a man, because they listen, they can stand before him. Let's look at Matthew chapter 20 and verse 20. Oh yeah, John 15 and 15. I'll get to Matthew. So John 15 and 15. So what we see with this here, right? He was telling Yasharah, because you didn't want to hearken to me, this is what you would say, because you ain't want to listen to me. I'm going to kill all y'all. You know what I'm saying? He said, but because these sons, you see these sons right here? They did not only just not listen to me, they actually listened to their earthly father. He said, because they kept all his commandments and precepts, they'll stand before me forever. And this is what going to what? Doing the will of your father and not your own. That's what that was showing you. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be able to dwell in the land. We don't like to do that. Go ahead with 15.
Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his master doeth. But I have called you friends, for all things I have heard of my Abba, I have made known unto you. Ye have not chosen me, but have chosen you. But I have chosen you, and ordained you, that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain. That whatsoever ye shall ask of my Abba, in my name, he may give it to
that we
you.
see how that man appointed his sons that they might, and they end up bringing forth fruit to remain. They had sons, they had daughters. He said they won't have a man that's going to fail to stand before them because of their obedience. Because they honored and reverenced their father, they ended up getting a blessing that they didn't even think that they were going to receive and even enter into their mind. All they was thinking that is, my daddy told me not to do this, so I'm not going to do it. How many of y'all feel like if your daddy told you, son, don't build you no house now, don't plant you no vineyard, don't sow you no seeds? Some of y'all, as soon as he turned it back and died, well, you've been like this here, shoot, what? I mean, I like oranges. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of living in this tent. You know what I'm saying? That impatience or that lack of understanding of why did he tell me not to do this? You just want to shoot and go do it. Go ahead.
These things I command you, that ye love one another. If the world hate you, ye know that it had hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Remember this word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his master. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my sayings, they will keep yours also. But all things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. If I had not come and spoken to them, they had no sin.
No, he sat back and he said, I ordained you, you didn't ordain me. You didn't choose me, I chose you. He could have put it on the heart of any man in Jerusalem at that time to put that on their heart to tell their sons that. But he chose to do it for them. And those sons listen. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to come down to whose will are you doing? Are you doing your own or are you doing his? Because see, we're going to look at another instance of that in a minute. Well, when he tell Isaiah to do something, that how many people would have actually went and done that? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of stuff that we won't go do. Because you sit back and look at it, right? Some of y'all didn't listen to your parents at all when you were growing up. You know what I'm saying? They told you to do one thing, you did the other. Now, we know everybody that buck. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody keep 100% of all the records. You know what I'm saying? Everybody done buck their people. They told you not to go somewhere, you went. They told you don't bring nobody in my house, you had everybody in the neighborhood. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody done buck. But then it's the point where you get to a certain point of maturity that you go hawking to them way lot more than you go not. You're not gonna clash with them like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he give you that understanding of honoring your father and your mother. If you cannot respect your parents on this planet, there's no way in the world you're gonna respect them. Some of y'all know people who like they just talk to their people in the kind of way, you know what I'm saying? Disrespect them and all that. I would find it hard to believe that this person can have a strong proclivity to obeying their father and Shamahim if you can't obey your parents. You know what I'm saying? I've had people ask me, is that a lifelong commandment? Who would think just because you've grown, you feel like you can disrespect your people? You know what I'm saying? I've had Bruce ask that. So we just supposed to honor them while we live with them? You're supposed to honor your people, period, man. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't matter if you was 45 years old. If you walked in your house and your mama say, boy, get in there and wash the dishes. You're supposed to get your grown behind in there and wash the dishes. It don't matter if you don't live here no more. If your mama just told you go wash the dishes, then you go wash them. You say, oh, what you mean? And she's supposed to come right across your door. Bam! You don't get in there and wash these dishes, nigga? If your daddy say, son, well, I need you to go out back, cut that grass. You supposed to go out there and cut that grass. You know why? Because when you were naked, they clothed. When you were hungry, they fed you. When you didn't have nowhere to stay, they housed you. So what difference does it make? Nigga, it's your people. You know what I'm saying? That's your people. You supposed to do what they tell you to do. Of course, you don't go against the word on them. That's your people, though. But you know, we used to have that type of mentality of obeying your parents all the way till they was out of here. You know what I'm saying? And taking care of them till all the way till they was out of here. It's only when you came in Western society, you felt like I'm grown, I ain't got to listen to you. You know what I'm saying? Do you have to take their life advice that they give you? No, you don't have to take that. You know what I'm saying? Because your people can give you wisdom or advice if you feel like that doesn't benefit you or work for you. You don't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? But if they tell you to do something, if you're any type of man or you're any type of woman, you would do it. If your mama told you to go grocery shopping for her and she gave you the list, how many of y'all would catch attitude for? There's other stuff to do. It was a lot of stuff she probably wanted to do when she had your funky behind. She still went and held that for you, though. See, we don't look at it in that aspect. I would hope you begin to look at it now that some of y'all got kids. To sit back and look at it, you might can understand their feelings and their thought processes when they were taking care of rearing you. So therefore, you would be able to reciprocate that back to them. You know, we don't have the apocrypha. The apocrypha talk about that, though. About taking care of your people when they get old. You know what I'm saying? And doing under them and taking care of them like they took care of you when you couldn't take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. We ought to do that. So, you know, that's why wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations, he said that what that Torah is. So respecting your parents will show forth that you have understanding that you would respect him whom you claim is your parent. This again, what we were talking about last night is more than just knowing the instructions. It's actually being a manifestation of the power of Elohim in these people's eyesight, so they can be condemned by your righteous and upright living. That the whole world might know that Yahushua is the son of the living Elohim, and that his name is Yahuwah. That they may know that by how you live, and that you don't have to utter a single solitary word. That they would literally see the personification of the Torah in place by the actual prophetic messages of the salvation of Yahushua inside of you. In deed and in truth, that they'll see it. But you ain't got to utter a word. You know what I'm saying? There should have been times where you done came called people and they felt like, or they knew that you didn't live how they live just by you being around them, by how you operate. But they're like, you know, people don't move like you move. People don't do that type of stuff you be doing. Why you do what you do? You know what I'm saying? That's what should happen. See, we done got into the framework of 21st century society that you got to do this here all the time. You know what I'm saying? We black. You know ain't nobody trying to hear that. You show me. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to act like you from Missouri. Show me. I need to see it. Most of y'all done grew up around people who was like this. Man, I ain't trying to hear what that nigga talking about. That nigga ain't got out the hustle yet. Nigga talking good. I ain't seen nothing from this nigga, and you don't respect. You know what I'm saying? When somebody talk your head out about what they is gonna do and they don't put no forth, no effort to do it, you don't respect it. That's how most people like that, but especially black people. Now, I can take it to just a more crude type of stuff. A lot of y'all done been around dudes talking about they were gangsters and killers and all this shit, and you know he ain't gonna bust a break. You know he ain't, and you ain't respect what he talking about. I got a video now, I can't play it for you. That nigga had me dying laughing. I showed it to you though. Cuz made another one. He was slapping bro around in his house. I'm talking about cuz slap cuz in his house and dead in the hit. Cuz say, oh, cuz say, hold on. You know what I'm saying? But it's the thing though, but in public, you's a gangster though. Now how am I gonna respect you as a gangster? And a nigga not only slapped you, he slapped you in your home. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, he said he gave him a slap attack because he slapped him numerous times. Not because he slapped him numerous times. Numerous times. You know what I'm saying? Now, are we condoning you slapping somebody? No, but it's the point of over here you's a gangster and a killer. Now, I just seen a man slap fire from you. How am I going to respect anything come out your mouth after that if you say this is what you're doing? Now, I said that to say this here. How is anybody who you want to impart the word going to respect anything you talking about when they see you over here doing this, but you telling me this though? You know what I'm saying? I'm not respecting that. Respecting for what? Oh yeah, boy, I get money, boy. What? I done seen dudes in jail like, yeah, boy, I get money, boy. I'm talking about, boy, I ain't seen not there. Let her come through the top, bro. You don't even move and operate like somebody who was making some money. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you don't bathe. I ain't met a nigga who gets money that don't bathe. You know what I'm saying? I'm for real though. I done been locked up with dudes say they get money, nigga ain't bathed in 3-4 days. I have not met a single solitary man that got money that did not keep his body clean. You know what I'm saying? I done seen dudes that got money, bathed, put the same clothes on, and hustled 7 days straight, same clothes. Niggas bathed though. You know what I'm saying? Their clothes might have not been that fresh. They bathed. They wash their body. You know what I'm saying? So how are we gonna sit back and say we are Elohim and we don't live what we profess? Because more than I'm telling you, I've told you before, that's what they're looking at. All the information means nothing. They're looking at how you live. And if your life don't match up with it, they're not respecting that, which means they're not gonna respect your Elohim. Which means they're gonna start, when they talking bad about you, they actually talking bad about him. It's the same way if you doing what you're supposed to be doing, and they talking bad about you, then they talking bad about him. The effect is reversed. They actually bringing coals of fire on their head. But when you not living what you professing, they actually putting coals of fire on your head because you got this man's name looking bad in the street. Which goes back to what we was first talking about with the branding, protecting that. That man want to protect his name. That's why they say don't take the name of your Elohim in vain or make it worthless. Don't be professing the name of Yahuwah and you a whore, or a liar, or a drunk, or a drug addict, or a thief, because you make his power worthless. You know what I'm saying? He said, then he say he won't hold you guilty. That means he gonna come see you about that. Because you got my brand and my name looking bad. So what's the remedy for all of that? Keep his name clean out here in these streets. Keep that brand looking good. Make it when somebody see you come out. That's one of Yahuwah people, boy. They know and respect that. Well, I respect Yahuwah, boy. I don't follow what he say, but hey, well, I respect that because that's what his word did for that man or for that woman. Well, they have no nothing but deny it, and what it ends up doing after that, they want to come and inquire. Boy, I seen what that word did for your life. Boy, I need to know more about it. I'm interested in that. If I see. That's the more power than anything. Preaching the word is good. You know, you all that here, man, but you gotta have that behavior that go along with it. That's why the book tells a woman not to win her husband with the word, but with her behavior. Behavior has a greater effect than you talking to somebody than anything. The master wanted people with his words, but they were also watching what he was doing. They say, is anybody else gonna come work miracles like he worked? Is anybody else gonna come do this here and do this here? I ain't never seen nobody do what he done did. You know what I'm saying? And they know, and they paying attention. He keeping that word too, boy. I ain't seen him sin yet. He gotta be doing something. And they try to find sin on him every time he told him, which one of y'all convinced me of a sin? And if I tell you the truth, why you don't believe it? Nigga, if I ain't living sour and I ain't lying to you, why you don't listen to what I'm telling you? So they sit back and look, I don't want to listen to what you're telling me. You know what I'm saying? The book tell you that. That your behavior and your conduct, if you shine as a light, get Matthew 5. Not 17. What it is, 11. Get Matthew 5. See, I know a dude, he'll use this verse to be like this here, right? Because I despise this. I personally, this right here, I want to tell y'all, I can't stand it. I cannot stand when dudes go out and feed the poor and clothe the poor and take pictures of it and videotape it. I can't stand that. You know what I'm saying? And that's without the word. Because if you're going to do something for somebody, then just do it. You know what I'm saying? I know a young brother, he'd be like, bro, you got to let your light shine. Your light is shining to the people who you did it for. Everyone who saw you when you were out there doing it. A nigga on Facebook don't need to know about it. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to go feed the poor, so you want credit for doing what you're supposed to do? That's just like saying, I take care of my kids. So what, nigga, you supposed to? Get no bonus points for that, nigga. I get up and go to work every day. Well, nigga, how else you gonna take care of yourself? You're supposed to. We live in a society where you want to get credit for doing what you're supposed to do. Like they say, I keep the commandments. Well, that's the whole duty of man, nigga. You're not doing nothing. You're supposed to. That's your reasonable service. That means you're not going above and beyond the call to do it. You're just doing what's reasonable. It's reasonable to obey. You know what I'm saying? Oh, for real though. That's what it say then. It say that's the whole duty of man, right? Then that's your job, nigga. You don't get no credit for doing your job. You ain't see the master walking around. I fulfill the book. I keep commandments. You don't see him doing that. He just did it. You know what I'm saying? And guess who gave him credit for it? His father gave him credit for it. What we want, honor from men or honor from Yah? Who we want it from? Yeah. That's what you see with John and Dad's sons, right? They want to honor from their father. They kept his word. Go ahead, bro.
Matthew 5, verse 11. Baruch Dar Yi, when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my name's sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in Shamayim. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt has lost its savior, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing,
So you good for nothing.
but to be cast out and to be trodden under the foot of
But what did he
men.
tell you after that? 'Cause we was a little too high. That's all.
Ye are the light of the world.
You know what?
Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel,
They don't put it under a bushel.
but on the candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house.
They give light to everybody.
Let your light shine.
Let your what?
Let your light
Let
shine.
your what?
Let your light
So if we
shine.
look at light, he said the Torah is light, right? And that's what it says in Proverbs. So we know that that's going to be what? Faithfulness, right? Let your faith show them. What did he tell you in James? Give me James chapter 2. Let your faith show them. Don't be so stuck on, oh, I keep the commandment, let that show. Let your faith show. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going to draw people. You know how much faith you got to have not to refrain yourself from something? Knowing that you're going to get a reward for doing it. You know, like I said, right? Some of y'all got some things you running that you own yourself, right? You cannot see the conclusion or whatever that. You know how faith you got to do to sit back and create something on your own? You have to actually get out there and make it happen. You know what I'm saying? You have to do that yourself. You got to push that. You got to handle it. You got to sit up and get up every day that I got to do this and 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 do it. Like you can plant seeds in the ground and you hoping they grow. Because you know what I'm saying? You could plant some seeds and they don't grow, and you could have did everything that you were supposed to do for them to grow, and they still don't grow. You know what I'm saying? You can do everything you're supposed to do to get your business to go, and it still don't go. You know what I'm saying? But you have to have trust and hope that he whom you serve will reward you for your faith and your hope that you place in him. You know, if that word or that seed falling in your heart and you understand it and believe it, it's going to bring forth fruit if you have the patience. See, niggas don't have no patience. You know, the word tells you repeatedly to wait on Yahuwah, to wait on Yahuwah, to wait on Yahuwah, to have patience. See, we like to speed. So you end up speeding, you either get a facsimile of what you want or something that's near what you want, so you end up settling. And you don't really get the fullness of what this man would have had for you if you would have waited. You know what I'm saying? Speed is not good. I ain't talking about you want to speed on the highway, that's a whole other thing. But talking about speed in life, though, that's not good. Because you end up losing out on something greater for something right now. You know what I'm saying? Right now it's not good. Because y'all tell you to wait. Say Baruch to those that wait. So it's a blessing to wait on him. Don't go say wait on you a numerous times. Wait on him then. Wait on him then. You know what I'm saying? When you wait on him, he gonna give you something. Them boys did not know how long they was gonna have to dwell in them tents. They ended up saying, you'll stand before me forever. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to get to that part of in Matthew 20 and Revelation 3. You're talking about your desire. We read it last night in John and Revelation 7, right? All the people standing in front of that throne, a number which no man can number. They standing before this man. So guess what that means? The son of Rechab, all of them were standing right there with him. They were counted in that. That's what he promised them. And their offspring. Go ahead. James 2, what is it? About 2 and 17.
James 2 and 17. Even so, faith, if it have not works, is dead, being alone. Yea, a man say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works.
That's why he said, let your light shine. If we know that that word for truth is a mind, that's firmness and faithfulness, that man say, show you, you want to say you got faith and you ain't got no works. He said, I'll show my faith by what I do. When he told Abraham to get up and get from amongst his kindred, Abraham showed his faith in Yahuwah by what he did. He let that light shine. You don't think all those people saw that? The man, they got up and left. He just got up and left. Because some like, y'all, I don't know who no y'all is. He got to be one important individual. He just got up and left. You know what I'm saying? So you have to look at that. If you want your light to shine, then manifest that light by your faith. That's why our problem coming at. We so focused on commandments, you ain't focused on actually manifesting the true faith in this man. That's what's going to draw people. See, these people think our faith is just some fairy tale. They don't like to focus on it. Like people like to say, oh, Jonah was in the whale. They didn't say he was in the whale. People just insinuate that. They just said he was in a great fish. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know what type of fish it was. I just know it said a great fish. You take it up when you know what he meant. Oh, he don't weigh no man side of no fish. What you mean ain't no way no man did that? I ain't gonna say it like you say, man, he Joseph had sex with Mary. Ain't no, so you mean to tell me you can believe he could make a man from the ground, but he couldn't put a baby in somebody's womb? You know what I'm saying? I seen the dude tell me that's impossible, him taking a woman out of man's rib. But you believe a woman asexually reproduced? You know what I'm saying? It's the stuff that dudes say that we believe is crazy, and you hear the stuff they believe, and you were like, are you serious right now? These niggas believe some big old thing, what's the name of that? They believe some big old ship came to Buru gonna come through here with a whole bunch of niggas on it. Hello? Hello? What's going on? No, it won't be till this evening. After sundown. After sundown. I'm excited. Who that was? You know that? But it's like this every time. Tell you though, bro. Like y'all done heard, how many of y'all done heard of Nibiru? You done heard of Nibiru before? Y'all ain't never heard of that? Nibiru. Yeah.
Planet.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They believe it's a whole bunch of black dudes gonna just jump up off of that, man. And Anunnaki and all these niggas come up and save all you niggas. You know what I'm saying? Dumbest thing you ever want to hear in your life. Boy, I'm talking about you want to hear some stupid stuff, boy. Go read them holy tablets from Dr. Malachi York. I guarantee you put the thing down in 5 minutes. Well, I just seen like this. Well, they say, boy, you know that nasty nigga, they ought to hang that nigga in federal prison. Talking about he grabbed a little girl and she was say this lady can't have sex now 20 years later. Because he done molested this girl in her butthole. Talking about the Hershey Highway. Talking about I'm going to the Highway. That's what he said. That's what the lady said he told her.
Hershey Highway.
Bro, you know Malachi York had a real strong following before you went up that road. Right there in Georgia, man. Eaton, Georgia. He wasn't too far from Jacksonville. Because I read about this nigga in the Florida Times Union when they locked him up. I'm like, man, I have been reading this man's stuff since like 97. And this was like 02, 01, or 03 when they locked this man up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, boy, this nigga might have really did something crazy. They put him in the newspaper. They ain't put him in the newspaper with none of their book. That's when I found out 135 counts of child molestation. And you know what he did? He didn't go to trial. He copped out to him. That means you did it, nigga. Ain't no grown man gonna cop out to no child molestation and he didn't do that. You gonna have to give me all that time. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna give me 700 years, you're gonna have to give me 700 years. I'm not gonna cop out to I touch little kids. You only copped out to touching little kids because you touch little kids, nigga. And you know it's dudes that still defend this man to this day and follow his teachings. How could you follow the teachings of a pedophile? But then again, people follow Muhammad. He's a pedophile, so what's the difference? Go ahead, bro. No, we good. Matthew, get that Matthew 20.
I had John 12 too.
Oh yeah, John 12 and 44. Oh, you know about that? Oh yeah, man, Muhammad married a 9-year-old girl, man. Well, we can go in the Middle East right now, man. They marrying all 7-year-old girls every year. Every year. You get you one, 7. Make her your wife. Could consummate it when she's 10, I believe. Oh yeah, they hump sheep too. Say if a woman ain't around, you go ahead and grab that sheep, man. Go ahead and knock it down. You ain't even got to kill it. You know, our law say, boy, you catch a nigga having sex with an animal, you kill that nigga and that animal. I would say knock him down. Nigga, take him to the house later. Feeling frog if your wife ain't home, hit him again. That's what he literally said. If your wife is not present, you can molest this sheep. You know how sick you got to be like, boy, shoot, my baby ain't home right now. I'm finna go in the back. Sheep. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell y'all something. Before we proceed, I wish I was making this stuff up, but I'm not. You know what I'm saying? My bad, y'all. This here, right? I lost my train of thought on this. I know really people that that's what it was. How many of y'all have heard that there are 40 different people whose stories are like the Shiach? How many of y'all have heard that before? Like example, Thor and Hercules and Dionysus, all them. See, and the reason why I mention this is to tell y'all this, right? People throw that information out here because they don't. Because like I see people, they share this video of this pastor who say he don't believe in the book no more because he done studied it, he done did his research and see that it all come from each. See, you stupid nigga. You know what I'm saying? See, I done read all these people's stuff. Not everything, but I done read these people's stuff. When you actually know Yahushua HaMashiach versus knowing these stories, you will see that none of them are the same. See, they do little simple stuff. See, he died and rose again. But when you actually read Horus' story, Horus didn't die and rise again. Oh, Horus was born of a virgin birth. No, Horus was born through necrophilia. You know what I'm saying? Like when you actually go look at these people's stories, I can't remember dying. I read all this stuff in prison. You know what I'm saying? See, I ain't read no Bible in prison at all. You know, I niggas go to prison and want to start reading scriptures and all that type of stuff. I ain't do none of that. If they don't want to read that there, all of a sudden they want to put a kufi on and they want to be a Muslim now. You know what I'm talking about? Assalamu alaikum. But nigga, get out my face with all that, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Niggas do it for protection. You feel like if you run into a religious group, ain't nobody gonna bless you. But Muslims was getting knocked out, Christians was getting knocked out, it ain't make no difference. You ran your mouth, let that gator fly, they gonna knock your teeth out his mouth. That's what it is. You do some old sour stuff, you wanna gamble, you wanna pay nobody, you might catch a knife in your back. You know what I'm saying? That's how it goes. Nobody will care about those. That's one of Jesus freaks. I ain't gonna stab him. He gonna stab you too. To my, oh, he down with Allah. And he gonna be down with the lock upside his head, he don't have my money anymore. So that's what's gonna get you. It's three things get you hurt in prison. Not minding your business. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing you learn real fast, you go on the road. If it ain't got nothing to do with you, don't talk about it, don't inquire about it, don't worry about it. That's how you get stabbed. That's how you get beat up. You know what I'm saying? I'm dead serious. You should take that in your regular everyday life. If it ain't got nothing to do with you, and don't concern with you, stay up out of that. Because I know dudes who've been killing these streets, but getting this stuff ain't got nothing to do with them. Messing with niggas homosexual. You know what I'm saying? The same way a dude will kill you out here by this woman on the street, them niggas will do it in there about they quote unquote woman in there. You know what I'm talking about? And messing with people's money. The same stuff that'll get you hurt out here. You know what I'm saying? And the book tells you about these type of things. That if jealousy is the rage of man, if you commit adultery with a man's wife, you can't put that fire out forever. The book tells you about keeping your nose out of people's business. You know what I'm saying? If that ain't got nothing to do with you, what you worry about it for? You know what I'm saying? You can get real far in life, you can stay out of people's business. Mind yours. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got nothing to do with you. If people choose to divulge information about what they're doing, then they'll divulge it. If they don't worry about it. That gets people hurt, that gets people killed. A lot of times people be worried about what somebody be doing, they get their feelings hurt. You know what I'm saying? And then of course, you know you're not gonna play with nobody's money. Now I know some of y'all have probably had an employer that played with your cash and you were ready to go upside somebody's head. You know what I'm saying? But those things are volatile. They elicit emotional responses. You know what I'm saying? So you have to look at that. When you look at all these people, that's what they try to do with us. That's why we preach Yahushua HaMashiach. That's why when you are grounded in who you believe in, then nobody can't come at you with that type of stuff that will elicit the emotional response that they're trying to get out of you to discredit what you believe in. So you don't realize, like when they were tempting the master, they were tempting him to get an emotional response for him so they could have something to accuse him of. So people come at you about what you're doing and they do things to get an emotional response out of you so they can discredit your faith. You have to be wise enough to know this. That's why the master says, why tempt ye me? He already know what they're doing. And if you notice that in some of y'all been dealing with the word of life, that's how people come at you. Try to get an emotional response. Then when they get an emotional response, you notice you never hear the end of it if you react emotionally. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to have emotions, but you're supposed to be able to how to keep them under control, where they don't dictate your speech and dictate your action. Because if you allow your emotions to dictate your speech and action, you're probably going to make the wrong choice. Go ahead, John 12.
For they love the praises of men more than the praises of Elohim. Yahushua cried, and he said, he that believeth on me, believeth not on me, but on him that sent me. And he that sent me, and he that seeth me, seeth him that sent me. I am come, a light in the world.
He come as what?
I come, a light into the world.
Now you know what he called himself? Let me show y'all something. Hold it right. He said he came as what?
A light into the
Now
world.
let's go over to Revelation chapter 3, and let's look at what he called himself. Revelation chapter 3. My bad, it's 14. I thought I said the verse. I'm looking at it. This Revelation 3 and 14. I ain't say 7. Revelation 3 and 14. Matter of fact, make it 13. He said, he that have an ear, let him hear what the Ruach saith unto the body. And unto the Malachim of the house of the Laodiceans write. These things saith the Amen, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of Elohim. Notice that he said that he was the faithful and true witness. Did he just say he came into a light in the world? We're talking about how that light is representative of faith. He was a faithful and true witness to the things that's in Shamahim. Go ahead, read the next part of John chapter 12. So looking at this, he said that he the light of the world. And if anybody abide in him, they will abide in life. You know what I'm saying? So you have to sit back and look at that, abide in faith. And then the faith of the Son will abide in you. And that will manifest itself outwardly to all those who behold it. See, we looking at it, we take the wrong approach. Go ahead. John 12, what verse is it?
46. I am come a light into the world, that whosoever believeth on me should not abide in darkness. And if any man hear my words and believe not, I judge him not. For I come not to judge the world, but to save the world. He that receiveth me and receiveth not my words have one that judgeth him. The word that I have spoken, the same shall judge him in the last
Now notice
day.
how he said if anybody abide in him, they won't abide in darkness. You know what? That's important. Hear Revelation 21 and 22. Because he said he's the light of the world. I didn't read verse 12 in Revelation 3. Where it said, like he said, he that overcome, he would cause them to dwell in the city of his Elohim, which is New Jerusalem.
Revelation 21:22. And I saw no temple therein.
Saw no what?
No temple therein.
Why not?
For Yahuwah, for the Master Elohim Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it. And the city had no need for the sun, neither of the moon, to shine in it. For the esteem of Elohim did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof.
Now, how is the only way else you're going to get into the kingdom unless you believe? Didn't he just say if he's the light of the world and anybody that abide in him won't abide in darkness? There'll be no darkness in the kingdom. When you look at darkness, you look at it as sin, you look at it as death, and that's unbelief. You know what I'm saying? This man came to bring the manifestation of faith into the world that you could actually put your. Give me 1 Peter chapter 1. See, our hope. See, you know, a lot of people problem is that we set our hope in men and not our means. So you always have to look at. We look at the Apostle Paul and the stuff that they were preaching. They always wanted you to make sure that your hope and your trust was in Elohim. Like Paul say, one man say I'm of Apollos, another say I'm of Cephas. He said, man, is Mashiach divided? Will we immerse for you? You know what I'm saying? All preachers are just stewards of the word. You know what I'm saying? To be able to help direct and guide people and show them the way of salvation. But people put their hope in the preacher. And Hebrew niggas do it too. I ain't even talking about the Christians. So how we know this here? Because these niggas know that nigga is GOCC knocking niggas old ladies down. And they don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, screw all this other stuff about doctrine and all this stuff. You know these dudes live inside. Don't nobody say nothing. Don't nobody say nothing about that nigga in New York who congregation just got raided and all the wicked stuff this nigga doing. They know that they do it. We ain't talking about like when dudes say call you woman a female dog and you disagree with that track. I'm talking about niggas doing vile stuff. Like they know they spit these women out like grape seeds. You know what I'm saying? They know this. And nobody says nothing. They know dudes committing adultery or doing certain things. Nobody says nothing. Dudes give men orders to do things that they know are wrong and these niggas follow them. Well, my elder told me to do it, so I wouldn't care what that nigga told me to do. Like, y'all remember that stuff when that girl was talking about, we had that lady on the phone, she was talking about niggas was swinging, wife swapping. You know what I'm saying? This is what dudes doing in the word. Swapping wives. How you in the word having a swinger party? Like, people who in the world look at that funny. You know what I'm saying? I'm for real. People in the world look like, that's kind of nasty. And you supposed to be set apart, and you doing it. Go ahead.
Peter 1:20.
Yeah, 1 and 20. 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 20.
Who verily was foreordained before the foundation of the world, but was manifest in these last times for you.
For who?
For you.
This man was manifested for us, not for himself. Go ahead.
Who by him do believe in Elohim that raised him up from the dead and gave him esteem, that your faith and hope might be in Elohim.
Your faith and hope might be where?
In Elohim.
In who?
In Elohim.
So that's where your faith, your hope, and your trust supposed to be. You're supposed to be hearing the word, and the word is supposed to be communicated unto you that you put your hope and trust in the Most High. That's why he say curse. See, a lot of people look at, oh, see, ain't no man gonna teach me because I don't trust in no man. Stupid nigga, you ain't supposed to be trusting in the man. You supposed to be trusting in the man that man is telling you about. You know what I'm saying? That's what those are what niggas say. So I don't need nobody to teach me because I don't trust in that man. So you put your trust in your man when that man end up becoming your Elohim and you trust his words and not the word. That's why he say, if any man do his will, he'll know if I speak of myself or I speak of him that sent me. He say my doctrine is not mine, right? But his that sent me. So all the preachers, matter of fact, give me 17 chapter 4, man. Then we gotta get out of here. I had that stuff about that needle work, man. I ain't gonna get to it. What's out? It can't be that bad.
Second Corinthians 4, verse 8.
Make it fun. 2 Corinthians 4.
In whom the Elohim of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach.
Again, so Satan has blinded a lot of people that don't believe the word, right? I'm gonna read y'all something. Hold on. This is Matthew 13, right? This is Matthew chapter 13, right? Whatever it is, I want. About verse 18. He says, hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone hear the word of the kingdom and understand it not, then come the wicked one and catch away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which received the seed by the wayside. See, so he's sitting there telling you, when somebody hear the word, they don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Then Satan coming right on through. See, I've been told y'all this before, but you can't save everybody. You know, Paul said one time, he said, man, I make myself to all men that I might save some. He didn't say save all. He said save some. Because everybody is not going to believe. You're going to have to get that idealistic hope out of your head. I just know this from being in the street doing it. I standing on no cones. You know what I'm saying? Like you see dudes who like literally in the street, everywhere I went. You know what I'm saying? In the hoods, bus terminals, anywhere. Boom, 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 boom. I'm sitting there looking at people like, well, niggas don't believe this. You know what I'm saying? You have to remove it from your mind and thinking, how could nobody believe this? It ain't hard. It's not hard. People just don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? For numerous different reasons. Everybody has a reason in their mind why they don't believe it. So we're not going to go into all that. You know what I'm saying? But you have to sit back and look at that. When the God of this world, when Satan has blinded the hearts of them, he says the light. Remember, we're looking at light, we're looking at faith. The average Hebrew nigga says that's the law. We say the esteemed gospel of the master. What is the gospel? It's the gospel of faith. That's the word of faith which we preach. This man blinds people's eyes so they can't believe it. It's numerous things that come in the way of blocking people from believing it. And usually it's their own desires. You know what I'm saying? You know, in Jeremiah 45, I think about verse 5, he say, you seek great things for yourself. Seek them not. He said, I'm going to bring evil on this place. You know what I'm saying? That's what he was telling us. Because what ends up happening is we end up seeking great things and we don't seek him whose name is great. And we think that these great things that we seek are going to validate us and make us feel better. But then you end up realizing most people who become real, real rich or real, real famous and they don't have Elohim with them, they empty on the inside. Why you think that thing the whole is sacrificing chickens in our house? I'm real, man. Yeah, man, I'm talking about, I don't know what this girl sacrificing chickens in her house. In her house. So if this sea level star is sacrificing chickens in her house, what you think these other people do? I don't know. She can't be that famous. I ain't never heard of her. She got to be. She's a whore because she sacrificed. She's serving. She's a witch. That woman said, "I'm performing witchcraft." These were her words.
She lived in Europe, I think.
She clearly. She definitely ain't famous over here. Oh yeah, man.
In whom the Elohim of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the esteemed gospel of Mashiach, who is the image of Elohim, should shine unto them. For we preach not ourselves, but
We preach not who?
we preach not ourselves.
We don't do what?
For we preach not
Who
ourselves,
we preach then, Paul?
but Mashiach, Yahusha, the Master,
Who is what?
and ourselves, your servants, Yahusha, for Yahusha's sake.
So that means that's all anybody who preach the word would be doing, is that your faith and hope might be in Elohim. They're not preaching themselves, they're preaching the master. But you notice a lot of people who like to preach themselves. So you have to watch somebody who talk about the word and it always ends up to being about them. Say, how did we go to Yah to you, nigga? I don't want to hear about you. You can't save me. Go to Revelation 7. 7. Then we got to swing to this Isaiah chapter. I might can work this chapter 5. I still got to do Job chapter 5.
Revelation 7, verse 10. And cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our Elohim, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb. And all the Malachim stood around about the throne, and about the elders and the four beasts, and fell before the throne on their faces, and worshiped Elohim, saying, So be it. Baruch, and esteem, and wisdom, and thanksgiving, and honor, and power, and might be unto Elohim forever and ever.
Look at Revelation 22:1. Why are these people standing there? Well, I cut him off a little too, so he can go get it. Go to Revelation 22:1 while I read this Revelation 7. Why are these people standing right here? Let's look and see why these people standing right here. This man said in verse 13, he said, why are these people standing here in white robes? He said, because they came out of great tribulation and washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb, which means they overcame by the Son. It was their faith that saved. Remember when that lady was washing his feet? And he looked at it, and what did he tell her? He said, your faith has saved you. It's the same thing the Most High willing we going to do that. Because the law can't save you, it's your faith that's going to save you. It was the faith that saved him about Egypt. It's faith that saved every single time. Every time you see somebody get delivered in this book, they were saved by faith. Even when Jonah was in that great fish belly, he like to say, when he went to cry out, he believed not, he spit him out. It wasn't no law got him up out of that. It wasn't no Sabbath day was going to get him up out of that fish. No Sabbath day wasn't going to get him up out of that. It wasn't no, I don't eat no pork. I bet you don't. You going to stay in here for a little while. They ain't get him up out of there. I seen a dude, I told y'all last night, dude was like, man, we got to come together, Israel, to keep these laws. I just seen a dude make a video and say, everybody come back to Zion so he can turn back our captivity. Nigga, he ain't turning back this captivity based on you niggas going nowhere or based on you niggas doing nothing. He gonna turn back this captivity when he's ready. When it's over, when it's finished, when it's complete. You just got to make sure that you complete before it's complete. You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to keep your mind on. Make sure you're complete before it's complete. Because if you're not complete before it's complete, he will completely end you. And you don't want that. You know what I'm saying? He's not appointed us under wrath, but salvation through Yahushua HaMashiach. So if we have this help to save us in the time of need, why are we not running through the throne of favor with boldness? Why are we not getting there expeditiously? Why are we not getting there with every ounce of our strength to grab hold onto this? Because this is not this man's desire to kill any one of us. And that's Gentiles and all. That's heathens and all. This man's desire is that the soul be saved. Because dude sit back and look at it. He didn't want to kill the people during the time of the flood. He sat back and looked at what they were doing. He said, well, I got to get them out of it. You know what I'm saying? I got to get them out of it. Because I can't put up with this no more. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, bro. Revelation 22:1.
And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of Elohim and of the Lamb, in the midst of the street of it. And on either side of the river was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruit, and yielded her fruit every month. And their leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of Elohim.
There be no more what?
And there should be no more curse.
What's that curse, everybody, that ain't going to be there no more? Death. Go ahead.
But the throne of Elohim
The throne of Elohim
and of the Lamb
and the Lamb
shall be in it,
shall be in it.
and his servants shall serve him.
They're going to be standing before him and not with him. And why are they standing there before him? Because they kept the commandments and precepts. So we sit back and look at, we were going to emulate the sons of Jonadab, not with them. Because they did their father's will and not their own. And that caused them to be able to stand before Yahuwah forever. And that's what we should have done. Isaiah chapter 20, verse 1. But see, we're going to go a little different route now. This is a little different route. I'm blind.
Seen that,
Nigga, you the feds, nigga? Nigga's a fed. Nigga told that nigga, say he want that money. Nigga doctor say this nigga's a fed. That nigga doctor, how you say you a gangster in real life and a gangster on music and you were playing a gangster on a movie and nobody believed you? That was crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe him on his record, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, you talking about trans?
yeah, nobody believes you. Let me see, this nigga's a fan. That wasn't believable. But you know what's funny though? There's people who play roles in real life. And you're like, well, he's a horrible actor. Well, you probably want to go to class for that. No, you got people who play a role their entire life. You know what I'm saying? I know dudes like the dude I was telling you that punk tried about before we got started. Came in out and said, well, I'm telling you, right? That nigga walked around like every day in prison was a perpetual music video. Real, that's how he did his time. Like we were just in a continual music video. Like, nigga, this is real life, bro. This is real life. Like, this man gonna cut these lights off and tell us we gotta get in this bunk. I'm a grown man and I gotta be told to go get in the bed. Bro, you know how bad that is? Nigga got a bedtime. Man, you ain't even gotta go to sleep, you just gotta get in the bed. I'm real, lights out. Well, let me catch you off your bunk. And you can't use all the toilets. You can only use these first 2 toilets and 1 towards the back. I'm telling you. Bro, I watch niggas get up in the middle of the night and do ungodly things. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about shit. Well, I watch niggas get up in the middle of the night and get high on psychotropic meds. I'm talking about take psychotropic meds and snort them and say, boy, we on that first. Talking about they on some cocaine. And they would zoom around that dorm like they was on cocaine. They sure acted like they was on cocaine and they would snort it like it too. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what it was they would take and make them sleep all day to get up, eat everything in their locker. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, some of y'all know this here. Some of y'all know that there's people that y'all see on Facebook that you know that is not you in real life, nigga, because I know you. I ain't never understood that one, how you play a role online and there's people who actually know you in real life. Well, you know how bad that is when somebody playing a role and they know it's somebody. I used to see dudes do that up the road now. This is funny to me, right? Dudes that have a picture book, be like, yeah, boy, that's my car right there. This guy there in the third. And somebody from their city is like, man, that nigga smoked dope on the street. I done seen dudes who played a role and somebody from their city came in there and they didn't talk no more when that dude was in that door. They ain't had nothing to say. All that flyers and all that stuff they were doing, that stuff stopped. They said, wait, what? You ain't, oh, you had like, boy, you ain't no good boy. He said he was balling in your city. Man, nobody ain't never heard of this nigga. Who is this nigga? And people do that with the word. People do that who's not in the word. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know people use so it ain't got to just be with the word. You know people use social media to construct a life that doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? To cause people to believe in a fallacy. You know people do that with their relationships. Oh yeah, we couldn't have it. They can't stand this. They can't stand them. They hate every minute of it. You know the worst thing is you with somebody you don't want to be with. Not just because y'all got issues. You know what I'm saying? That just could be ironed out. I mean, I don't want to be with this. I can't stand this person. You dread every day. You got people who married somebody don't want to be married. You know how bad it is to wake up and look at somebody every day? Like, that's all you do is look at them and shake your head. Oh, boy, they could make us all mad. We're gonna fight about that. Isaiah chapter 20, verse 1. She a soldier. I'm trying to shake it off. She got a right to play. It said the year of Tartan came unto Asgard, when Sargon, the king of Assyria, sent him and fought against Asgard and took it. At the same time spake Yahuwah by Yeshayahu the son of Amos, saying, go and loose the sackcloth from off thy loins, and put off thy shoe from thy foot. And he did so, walking naked and barefoot. And Yahuwah said, like as my servant Yeshayahu had walked naked and barefoot 3 years for a sign and a wonder upon Mizraim and upon Ethiopia, so shall the king of Assyria lead away the Egyptian prisoners and the Ethiopian captives, young and old, naked and barefoot, even with their buttocks uncovered, to the shame of Mizraim. And they shall be afraid and ashamed of Ethiopia their expectation, and of Mizraim their esteem. And the inhabitant of this isle shall say in that day, behold, such is our expectation. Whether we flee for help to be delivered from the king of Assyria, how shall we escape? Now this is very short. What do y'all think? I just want to hear about anybody who's going to, what do y'all think he's talking about? Because he said this is for a sign that Isaiah will walk around barefoot and naked.
What's wrong with you?
For the point of this is what the Egyptian and Assyrian prisoners would do. Now, what do y'all think he could be referring to? Now, I'm gonna reference one of these words for naked. Because I got numerous words in my head for naked. Praise the Lord. So when we look at the naked, and the word is a wrong, and it's literally just to be naked or bare.
I was thinking of Revelation 16:15.
I'm one of them. But what did you think he meaning when he's sitting back and he's saying he's naked and bare?
Look at him that is gone.
Think about the shame uncovered.
Shame is uncovered. Let's look at Jeremiah.
Just like who that was? No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was naked and shame was exposed. But see, now we have to look at something, all right? Get Jeremiah 49 and 10. Now remember, say, now this is for a sign and a wonder. He told him to do this for how many years?
3 years.
And it's a sign and a wonder. And what he say? What did Paul write to you in Corinthians? He said, what do y'all need look for? So that means this is pertaining to the master.
Okay, he preached for 3 years.
He preached for 3 years. So then we have to sit back and look, how did he walk around naked and bare? Because remember, basically, Isaiah walking around naked and bare is a testimony against somebody else.
Because he came from his throne. He came down from the throne humble himself, so he was stripped of his.
All that. He's naked and bare. Because you got to remember now, him being naked and bare is a testimony against someone else, right? So I'm going to read verse 5 for you again. So the king of Assyria shall lead away the Egyptian prisoners and the Ethiopian captives, young and old, naked and barefoot, even with their buttocks uncovered, to the shame of Egypt, or Mizraim. And we know Egypt looking, so this is to the shame of a sinner. So this man being naked and bare is a testimony against someone else. See, we're going to look at that in the book of Isaiah, in the 30th chapter, when he talk about this. But did he say Egypt was our confusion? We put our pride and hope in the sea. That's why he say the God of this world has blinded them, lest the faith of the Messiah should shine through that esteemed gospel. So, because a lot of people wonder, why did he tell them to walk naked and barefoot? He told them to walk naked and barefoot because he walked around naked and barefoot because somebody is captive to sin, which means they're captive to death, which means I will exterminate them. They're going to have to be shamed. Go ahead, bro. Jeremiah 49 and 10.
I have made Esau bare.
You made Esau
Bare.
Oh, man.
I have uncovered his secret places.
He covered up what?
His
Not
his
his
secret
secret
places,
places.
and he shall not be able to hide himself.
The white, so you mean to tell me the white man, he naked now? He can't hide himself. He can't hide himself. I made him bare. See, we know about the Illuminati now. We know what they do at the Federal Reserve now. See, he's naked and bare. See, Esau uncovered.
But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places.
The secret places.
And he shall not be able to hide himself.
He ain't gonna be able to hide.
His seed is spoiled.
His seed is what?
Spoiled.
His seed is what?
Spoiled.
Oh, man.
And his brethren, and his neighbor, and he is not.
And he is not.
Leave thy fatherless children. I will preserve them alive.
That's good. Now, how would he sit back and say his seed is spoiled? He say, but he's not. Who is his seed? So I guess the white man's spoiled. You know what I'm saying? But he's not. I ain't seen him getting spoiled. All I seen is rape, rob, and pillage. So when we look at that seed, we know this is Mashiach's seed. So how is his seed spoiled? How is his seed spoiled? Go to Romans chapter 8. Look how his seed is spoiled. Because the master's not spoiled. They spoiled him at his death, took his garments from him. But is he spoiled right now? Is anybody taking his wealth and his goods from him? He said Yasharal is a homeborn slave. He's spoiled and he is not. Why? You know what I'm saying? We spoiled all across the board. I don't care who do it. Arabs, Asians, you know what I'm saying about? East Indians, Arabs, white folks. One brother always, brother Tony always telling us, the Arabs, the one that called us. I wouldn't care who doing it from behind the scenes. All these niggas hate it. That's what Psalm 83 told me. So I don't care who doing it. Like I said, that's how you go to walking like this here, right? I just follow what I'm going to say, right? You go to acting like Buddy and half baked. But you don't do it to him as a whole. You do it to him in general, but out of every nation, there's somebody who called by his name. So then you walk around like Buddy did in half baked when he quit his job. F you, you're cool, you know what I'm saying? Because in reality, all these people hate us. And the reason why they hate us is for one reason and one reason alone. That we are the children of Yasharal. That's why they hate us. Because they hate your Elohim. They hate what he stands for. They hate the service that he performed to your fathers in times past. Because we're not even getting that service in fullness right now. Can you imagine this here? You in captivity, being beaten down, throttled, and oppressed in the four corners of the earth, and these people still hate your guts. How you ain't got no power in the, I'm talking about the whole world. Screw just the white people. All of them. Ain't none of them exempt. Ain't they all in Psalm 83? Ain't every nation on this planet in Psalm 83?
Yeah.
Every last one of them, right? So, hey, that means they all got a problem with us. And why do they got a problem with us? Because they got a problem with Yahuwah. You always got to remember that. Remember what we read last night in 1 Thessalonians, he that despiseth not man, but Elohim. So always remember that. Their problem is with your God, not with you. Even if you don't serve him, even unbeknownst to them in their inward part, their hatred for Yahuwah is so strong, they manifest that on you. You know what I'm saying? And the stuff that they do, regardless of what anybody thinks about it, oh, they're going to pay for that. Because he just told them to go into captivity. All that extra stuff they did, oh, that was all them. All that hanging people from trees, you don't even want to talk about what the Arabs did, because that don't make it's children in here. Like, I ain't being funny, it's children in here, because it was way worse. Ours was bad. Sub-Saharan was worse. You know what I mean? Like, them Arabs are some very, you thought white people were sick. Them Arabs are sick. You know what I'm saying? I'm for real. A lot of y'all ain't did no research on that and read on that. Them Arabs are sick. And that's saying something. White folks pretty sick. You know what I'm saying? All I'm going is based off our experience with them in this land. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, if it was reversed, and we was the ones that were grabbed by the Portuguese first and led over there to Mecca and Saudi Arabia and all that, we'd feel the same way. Boy, these Arabs sick. You come and tell me white people sick, you look shoot. You talk to Ishmael? You talk to Muhammad? You talk to, you know what I'm saying? You talk to them niggas. Them niggas sick. They do some sick stuff over there. Don't go for that pious stuff they like to put out there like all them Muslims all up. Them people nasty. Nasty. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no problem raping young girls. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, raping young men for that matter. You know what I'm saying? Doing foul. You ain't never heard about the white folks doing crazy stuff with animals, with people. They do that type of stuff. They do that type of stuff. And the level of torture and murder that they executed on us over there. Why do you think they always in your neighborhood selling stuff? They want to sell you something. They want to have sex with your women. That's all they want to do. Go ahead.
Romans 8, verse 34.
33.
Who shall lay anything to the charge of Elohim's elect? It is Elohim that justifieth. Who is he that condemneth? Is it Mashiach that died? Yet rather that is risen again, who is even at the right hand of Elohim, who also maketh intercession for us. Who shall separate us from the love of Mashiach? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine?
Don't you think tribulation and distress and persecution a little bit of spoiler? Go ahead.
Or nakedness?
Oh, or nakedness, so you'd be exposed and you would be bare. You know, it's another place. I'm going to get it as Isaiah 59.
Or peril or sword? As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death nor life, nor kings, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of Elohim.
See, there's no matter of spoiling that you're being separate. This is what happens when you actually make yourself bare. Come over here to Isaiah 59 about verse 12. We gonna be, well, you know, Isaiah 20 ain't that long. So we got to deal with being naked and bare or exposed. Let's look at something that what Isaiah prophesies here in 59 as well. Well, I'll make it 11. He said, we roar all like bears and mourn, soaring like doves. We look for judgment, but there is none. For salvation, but it is far from us. For our transgressions are multiplied before thee, and our sins testify against us. For our transgressions are with us, and as for our iniquities, we know them. See, that's the part that be killing me. It's like people act like they don't know what they be doing. You know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? All you have to do is just stop doing it. And that's what he's sitting back saying is the people is that we know what our sins are. This is what the master was coming to sit back and manifest it. See, he read it earlier in John 15. He said, if I wouldn't have came and did the works that no other man did, they would have not had sin. He said, now they have no cloak for their sin. Now you are naked and barefoot. You know what I'm saying? Because this man preaching for these 3 years and manifesting that word and walking in it has made you naked and barefoot. Because now you have nothing, you have no cloak, you have no cover for your sin. Your sackcloth is removed. You are exposed. It's the same thing he said in Romans chapter 8. That he came and condemned sinful flesh in the flesh. Because that now makes you naked and barefoot. You don't have no reason to sit back and say, I can commit a sin. Because this man has made you naked now. See, I'll get to that in a minute. Hold on. And it says, and in transgression and lying against Yahuwah, and departing away from our Elohim, speaking oppression and revolt, conceiving and uttering from the heart words of falsehood. And judgment is turned away backward, and justice stands afar off. Truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. Yea, truth failed. And he that depart from evil make himself a prey. And Yahuwah saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. So you sit back and look at it. When you depart from evil, you make yourself to be being open to being spoiled. Why? Because what we just read last night, vengeance is of Yahuwah. So you're not supposed to actually execute this back on these people. So these people feel like they can get off from you. This is how you end up getting spoiled. Like Paul said, what it is, 2 Corinthians. I think it's about 2 Corinthians chapter 6. Second Corinthians chapter 6. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, man. Look at about verse 8. And then I'll get to 2 Corinthians 11. Let's look at some of the stuff that he said he went through. That Paul talking about what he was going through, or how he was being spoiled. Go ahead. 2 Corinthians 6 and 8.
By honor and dishonor, by evil report and good report, as deceivers and yet true, as unknown and yet well known, as dying and behold we live, as chastened and not killed, as sorrowful yet always rejoicing, as poor yet making many rich, as having nothing yet possessing all things.
You know, all this stuff he going through for standing on the word, these people are spoiling him. Like they were spoiling the master. They say we're going to take his garments and we're going to cast lots for him. You know what I'm saying? Now let's look at 2 Corinthians 11 and 20. I just seen a video with dude talking about, he said, oh, is he the God of the Jews? He said, see, that's just Levi, Benjamin, and Judah. I said, what? Punching in there. He did, no, because he had some white preacher on the street, and that white man pulled his Bible out and like this, go here, go here. They just like this, we killing it, they like, we killing it. Well, you niggas are lying. You know what I'm saying? He say, all they Abarim, so am I. All they Yasharel, so am I. All they see the Abraham, so am I. All they ministers of Mashiach, I speak as a fool. I am more, in labors more abundant, in stripes above measure, in prisons more frequent, in deaths often. Of the Yahudim, 5 times I received 40 stripes, save one. It means that he got beat 5 times. Now, how many of y'all would let somebody beat you 5 times and you don't do nothing? Just like what we read in Acts last night, he said they counted themselves worthy to suffer shame for this man's name. How many people really got that manner of faith that they would sit there and take that? Because the master took it. That's an example of letting your light shine, and letting your faith shine in the world that you know that he won't allow you to see corruption. Because there ain't too many people finna let nobody beat them like that. Look what else the man said. He say, thrice was I beaten with rods. They say 3 times they got me with some rods. Not just a regular laughter. They caught me 3 times, beat me with some rods. He said, once I was stoned. Y'all remember that story in the book of Acts, right? When they stoned Paul, you know what he did? He got up and went back to preach. Ain't too many people gonna be like, what if they can shoot some rocks for? I don't know y'all do shot, but y'all do what? I'm gonna pop. He said, Thrice I suffered shipwreck, a night and a day.
Yeah, sing it.
He say, and he say, I've been in the deep.
Choir.
He's saying, journeying often in perils of water, and perils of robbers, and perils of by my own countrymen, and perils by the heathen, and perils in the city, and perils in the wilderness, and perils in the sea, and perils among false brethren, and weariness and painfulness, and watchings often, and hunger and thirst, and fastings often, and cold and naked. This man said, I'm in peril of false brothers, the heathen, my own people. They robbing us. They taking all this from us, because that's what happens when you make yourself naked and bare. You expose to everybody. Because people hate the righteous. What you think happened with Abel when he made them sacrifices? He hated him. He made himself bare. When you actually walk in the word, you show yourself to be a servant of the living Elohim. You make yourself open. And it is literally a testimony against those who walk contrary to it. Let's look at another place, right? Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 4. He said, naked and barefoot, 3 years.
Hebrews 4 verse 12. For the word of Elohim is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of the soul and the ruach and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, but all things are naked and open unto the eyes. All things are naked and open unto the eyes of him
Whom we have to do. Go ahead.
Seeing then that we have a great high priest that is passed into Shamayim, Yahusha, the son of Elohim, let us hold fast our profession. For we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling or of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted, like as we are,
So he was
yet
naked
without
and bare just
sin.
like because he was flesh. He was tempted like you are. So you got to remember that same thing, right? When they were in the garden, it said that Adam and Eve were naked and they were not ashamed. The minute that they committed sin, they wanted to cover themselves. So you can sit back and look at being naked and bare, being open. They didn't have no shame because they didn't have any sin on them. So it didn't bother them to be naked. Master was walking around naked because he didn't have no sin. He could be open and bare to the whole world. You can see because I have nothing to hide. You know what I'm saying? See, on the flip side, if you walking in sin, you want to cover yourself, but you don't want nobody to see that. That's why he say he walked around 3 years as a sign against him. It's a testimony against him. This is a sign and a wonder. No one had ever. Ecclesiastes 7:20 says, "There's not a just man upon the earth that sin not." Remember, we dealt with that a long time ago. It's not a just man on the earth that sin not. Till the master came. That's why he said, now you don't have no cloak for your sin. The master didn't have to cover himself with nothing. You know, in John chapter 7, they say, man, if you do it openly. Show yourself to the world. He told you that in John 18. He say, I ain't say nothing in secret. He said, I ever taught in the temple and in the synagogue and in the street. He said, ask the people what I said. You know what I'm saying? Everybody seen what I was doing. I wasn't hiding nowhere. I was bare. I was open. I was naked before all. You know, the flip side would say somebody say they make themselves naked or bare. That means they reveal all of themselves to you. You know what I'm saying? And he said that in John. We already read it. He said, man, I call you my friends, not servants, because I make known unto you everything that my Father has told me. I told you. That man was butt naked in front of everybody. It wasn't no hiding. It wasn't. But you know what that is? Then he said, you Ethiopian captive. He said, you're going to walk to your shame because you're going to be uncovered. Now your sins are exposed. And you're going to go captive into a place, and you're going to ask, how can we escape? How can we be able to get out of this captivity and out of this bondage? Because you're going to be led into slavery naked, is what he's saying. Go ahead.
Verse 16, let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in the time of need.
That's what we have to sit back and look at. We need to be looking to try to find help in the time of need. And you don't need to be wanting to find that help when you see them skies popping open. You know what I'm saying? Or when a little bit of trouble hits you, like now all of a sudden, oh Lord, help me, please, please. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to do that then. You should already be seeking this man, whether the sky blue or whether it's gray, whether you rich or whether you poor, whether you persecuted or whether you're not, whether you hungry or whether you full. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're homeless or whether you got a mansion, you still supposed to be seeking this man no matter what. That way, when you call in that time of need, it wouldn't even be no hesitation for him to answer you. Because you would have been doing just like Jonadab's sons did. You would have been following his commandments and his precepts. You would have been walking in what he told you to do. You would have hearkened to his voice. Because we're looking at not just doing what I say, but hearkening to my voice and holding fast to that. Give me 1 Corinthians 15 and 57. Make it 54. You have to realize your labor in Yahuwah is not worthless. There's an end of it. But you have to have the patience to receive your full reward. When we don't have the patience to receive, I'm telling you, if you don't have the patience to receive the full reward, you get a cheap facsimile.
You say 7
15.
That part again?
1 Corinthians.
15 and 15. You don't want something close to the real thing. You want the real thing. That's like saying, I want a product bag, but I'll take this knockoff. So you just stack your money up and got a real one.
So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to Elohim, which giveth us the victory through Yahushua HaMashiach. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast.
Be steadfast. Do you notice how Jonadab's sons were steadfast in what he instructed them to do? And why is that, Paul?
Unmovable.
On what?
Unmovable.
Ain't nothing moved them off not planting no vineyards, sowing no seeds. Nothing moved them off that.
Always abounding in the work of the master.
Why?
For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the master.
You see that with Jonadab's sons, their labor wasn't in vain. They got blessed to stand before Yahuwah forever. You have to realize your labor or your work in this man is not worthless. It's not for nothing. It's only for nothing when you live in halfway. You know what I'm saying? Or you believe in halfway. Because halfway faith is no faith. You know what I'm saying? Halfway obedience is no obedience. Revelation 3:16. Golly, man. You got this thing bumping in it like it's the middle of July.
You're gonna get a break, man.
What?
Revelation 3, verse 16. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Because thou sayest, I am rich and increase with goods. He says, I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would that thou were cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold or hot, I will spew thee out of thy mouth.
Look at it, man. You're gonna have to pick a side. You can't be halfway with it because he's gonna just get rid of it. He's just gonna get rid of it. Go ahead.
Because thou sayest, I am rich and increase with goods, and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched and miserable and
Don't you
poor.
realize that's what Jonadab's father was teaching his children? To not build them homes, and not plant them a vineyard, and not to do all these things, that they could realize that they were wretched, poor, and miserable because your brethren had been taken into captivity because of your disobedience. Go ahead.
And miserable and poor and blind and naked. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear.
The shame of that.
The shame of thy nakedness do not appear.
Don't you realize the shame of the nakedness was appearing with them and after the Ethiopians, the Egyptians, right? They were shamed. Why were they shamed? Because their sin is exposed. Their sin is exposed. Now we're gonna read that a day in a minute. See, that's the last thing you wanted to do is pull your shirt up and show that stuff you don't want nobody to see, but you don't want nobody to know. Go ahead, bro.
And anoint thy eyes with eyesal, that thou mayest see. And as many as I love, I rebuke and chastise.
Be what?
Be zealous, therefore, and repent.
Look at Nahum in the third chapter. Talk about verse 4. Make it verse 4. Nahum chapter 3, verse 4.
Because of the multitude of whoredoms and of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through their witchcrafts. Behold, I am against thee, said Yahuwah of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face.
You do what?
I will discover thy skirts upon thy face,
What else?
and I will show the nations thy nakedness and the kingdoms of thy shame.
Now you know, so I'm gonna show you no limit, right? In verse 5 in Isaiah 20. I'm sorry, not in Isaiah 20. So I'm gonna get to it. We look at verse 5 in Isaiah 20, if I'm not mistaken. It might be verse 6. Verse 4, it says, the king of Assyria led away the Egyptian prisoners and the Ethiopians captive, young and old, naked and barefoot, with their buttocks uncovered to the shame of Egypt. And that their expectation was this, whether we flee for help to be delivered from the king of Assyria, how shall we escape? So he said he's leading them away naked, right, to their shame. Now what y'all think this could mean if he's talking about who is leading them away naked?
Serious.
Now this ain't Satan. Listen to what he say again, man. He say, so the king of Assyria led away the Egyptian prisoners and the Ethiopian captives, young and old, naked and barefoot, even with a buttock uncovered, to the shame of Egypt. Look at verse 6 though. He said, they shall be afraid and ashamed. Now you're not going to be afraid and ashamed of Satan. Who's going to be afraid and ashamed of Satan? What you going to be afraid of Satan for? Why would you be ashamed if you saw Satan? Seriously though, why would you be ashamed of it? Then he said, the inhabitant of this isle shall say in that day, such is our expectation. This is what they hoping for. He said, whether we flee for help to be delivered from the king of Assyria, how will we escape? See, you ain't gonna be running from Satan to escape from him. Because we just read this verse in Revelation last night. So this talking about the master leading you to your expectations. You know what I'm saying? When you know in Job chapter 20, he said, what is the hope of the hypocrite? Get Job 24. Tell me what Job 20.
Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the
man
earth,
was placed upon the earth, what?
that the triumphing of the wicked is short,
The triumphing of the wicked is short,
and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment.
and the joy of a liar is but for a moment.
Though his excellency mount up to the heavens,
Though his excellency mount up on high,
and his head reach unto the clouds,
and it reach to the clouds,
yet he shall perish forever, like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he?
so where is he?
He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found.
And you not gonna find him.
Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night.
As a vision of the night.
The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him.
Now let's look at something. He said back and he said he's gonna lead these captives, young and old, naked and barefoot, to cover their shame. Get Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1. Isaiah 30 and 1. Oh.
Woe to the rebellious children, said Yahuwah, that take counsel, but not of me,
Not of me.
and that cover with their covering, but not of my ruach.
See, and that's what we sit back looking at, bro. And that's why he got to pull your shame out, because you seeking to cover yourself, but not by his spirit. Go ahead.
But not of thy ruach, that they may add sin to sin.
See, that's what ends up happening. So that's why he got to pull you and make you naked and barefoot so you could be exposed. Go ahead.
That walk to go down into Mizraim, and have not asked at my mouth,
And not asked at my mouth.
to strengthen themselves in the strength of the Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadows of Egypt.
Then we just read the God of this world have blinded those that believe not. Because we go to seek and strengthen ourselves in the devil. Like, how dumb is that? But we do it knowingly and sometimes unknowingly. You know what I'm saying? Because we seek the people who cannot, you say like this here, we seek to a people that cannot save. That's the same thing that's going to happen in the last day, on those last times when the Easter rises, that people are going to be seeking counsel from him and his teaching. And it's going to be to your destruction, because you're seeking to cover your life and save your life by listening to this man, but in actuality, it's going to be for your shame. Because what is shame? That's reproach or sin. That's a dishonor. That's a shame. Why I say the reproaches of them that reproach me fell on me. You know what I'm saying? That's why he was covered with shame. So the shame could be removed from you. So he walked around naked and barefoot and became sin so that you wouldn't have to be walking around here naked and be shamed at the end. But because if you don't want to follow this man, you don't want to believe in this man, you don't want to actually become him as he instructed you to, then he gonna have you walk around naked, and so you can meet your end. Because that's what he said, right? He said, "I'm gonna leave him naked and barefoot and uncovered to the shame of Egypt." To be a sinner, that's shameful. You're supposed to be ashamed. We done read this in Ezekiel 36 a couple times the last couple months, right? He said, "Be ye ashamed of all your doings, every one of them." He said, Paul said, "What fruit have you in those things where you are now ashamed?" You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way you're going to be saved if you do stuff and you're not ashamed of yourself. Because that's not godly sorrow. You're just going to continue. You're just going to do it again. Get a little bit of time go past, and yeah, you're going to do it again. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, all jokes aside, right? I don't know what the boy do. You know, dudes like to pick at the dude. You know, I'm the little boy. You know what I'm saying? He said he don't want to go down that Hershey highway. You know what I'm saying? Now, niggas sit back and pick at it. But if he trying to get that up off of him in reality, should you really pick at him because he might still have feminine mannerism and he's trying not to be a homosexual no more? I mean, it's because, you know, people quick at this whole company. It's funny when he talks. Don't get it twisted. It's hilarious now because he got some stuff to say out of his mouth. But at the same token, though, if he's trying to put that shame up off of him, who is somebody to pick at him and mock him as he's trying to shed that up off of him? Nobody did you like that. You know what I'm saying? Because some of y'all were whoremongers. You know what I'm talking about? Some of y'all were fornicators. Some of y'all were liars. Some of y'all were drunk. 1 Corinthians 6:9. Now, of course, we know he's not following the correct way, but I'm just looking at his behavior. This man say, because the word of Elohim say this is an abomination, I don't want to do this no more. Now, who is we to mock somebody who want to stop? That's how dumb Hebrew niggas is they'll mock somebody who moving to stop sinning. But nigga, you sinning yourself. So I'm gonna walk around you. That's all the Hebrew niggas care about. As long as you keep it at 7, you ain't no pope. Well, you righteous. Well, you got the fringes on too. I done seen niggas come out fringe check, taking pictures of their clothes and their closet. You gotta be the dumbest nigga in the world. That means something to me because you took a picture of some garments in your closet, nigga. What does that mean? That just means you went to the spread show, nigga, and somebody sold that for you. That's what that means. I'm not impressed by that. Just the fact that you did that leads me to believe you possibly are wicked. Because what righteous person be like this here? Fringe check. Fringe check? How about a circumcised heart check, nigga? How about that? Because that's a niggerish behavior. That's no different than dudes that take pictures flashing money. Look at me. Look at me. That's all it is. What's the difference of somebody taking pictures of their fringes and somebody taking pictures with some money? Because if you got the fringes on, they gonna see. You're bringing attention to that, which means you're bringing attention to yourself. Look at me, I keep commandments. Where you going to hell, boy? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about Yahushua no more, it's about you. Like, who is it really about? Is it about you or is it about him? Because it's about him, then the attention that you claim that the people say that they want is going to manifest. This nigga, yeah. Go ahead.
The sun down, man.
Shit, ain't no sun down around here. I ain't got worried about what that nigga talking about right now. I promise you. That's what I gave a hand of my business card out to random people.
Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of Elohim? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters,
Neither fornicators, nor idolaters or whatever.
nor adulterers,
Nor adulterers.
nor effeminate,
Effeminate.
nor abusers of
You look like
themselves.
this, yeah, you got old feminine cousin, but tell me some man in you. He ain't getting all that like this here, like he ain't gay, but no, you better man up, boy. You got time for that. Around here, like I said, y'all seen this dude posting video, these niggas getting eyebrow fill-ins and arches and whatnot. You know how the same way niggas do the line enhancement? I seen that boy, nigga tapped in the nigga eyebrow. Hit him up with the clipper. I wish a nigga would. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that service, cuz. I don't want that service. I don't want that service.
He said, nor abuser of themselves with mankind.
So abusing themselves with mankind is a homosexual.
Mm-hmm. Nor thieves.
Not no thief.
Nor covetous.
Nobody who covetous, who is an idolater. Go ahead.
Nor drunkards, nor revilers,
No revival.
nor extortioners,
Or extortioners.
shall inherit the kingdom of Elohim.
But what did he say after that, though?
And such were some
As
of you,
such were some of you.
but ye are wise.
But ye are wise.
But ye are sanctified. But ye are justified in the master
in the master. So it's your faith in this man which will wash you and justify. Give me 1 John chapter 1 verse 7. So this was what's going to get you not to be walking around here, this man leading. Because if you commit sin, your expectation is death. Because Romans 6:23 clear on that. The wages of sin is death. The soul that sin, it shall die. Your expectation is the lake of fire, which burn with brimstone where the worm dies not. That is your hope. Because you don't have no expectation of Yahuwah if you're disobedient. That's why he said with the things pertaining to salvation, thus we persuaded of better things for you than that. Why would we want you to go to hell? Why would anybody who preach the word want somebody to go to hell? I seen the dude say, pray for Eddie Long. I'm not praying for that nigga. I didn't rejoice to see him in such a bad state. I ain't gonna tell you that lie. I ain't gonna be like, yeah, look at me. That nigga look bad. You know what I'm saying? He looked bad. When I seen it, I said, I don't even know if that's him. That nigga head got smaller than everything. You know what I'm saying? He looked bad, but I didn't have no joy in my heart like, yeah. The only thing crossed my mind was, that's how I have to. That's the judgment. I'm not going to sit back and pray that Yahuwah take his judgment off of me. See, it's different if it's a regular person. You know what I'm saying? And they were touching kids. You know what I'm saying? This man was professing to be a man of God and a preacher of the word. And you were touching kids. Man, whatever y'all do to him, let it be done. And I feel like the guy, I don't pray for the world. He told you, like, don't you pray for this nigga in his God. I'm not praying for that nigga. Y'all hear it. If that's the judgment of Yahuwah, I'm asking y'all to turn away from what's right. Shoot, that's what you want to do to him. Y'all is right. All I can hope is, I hope you get your soul saved before you leave here, but that's probably not going to happen. Because you've been walking contrary for a long time. That's the whole key thing looking at it. Now, you shouldn't get no joy out of seeing that, because I definitely did. The nigga look bad. You know what I'm saying? How many of y'all seen that photograph? That nigga look bad. That nigga look bad. But guess what, though? How you think the little boys felt when you were playing in their buttholes? You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't giving that nigga no pass. Nigga, you touch, like, if he just was cheating on his wife and all that, you know, I don't even pray for him. Nigga, you were touching kids, nigga. These people were coming to you for guidance of the word and fatherly influence and fatherly mentorship, and you took advantage of them and molested them. You know what I'm saying? You molested these boys. These boys trusted you, and you violated them in more ways than one. And I ain't even talking about no physical violation. You violated them mentally. You violated them spiritually. You violated them emotionally. Where it could take decades for them to recover what you did to them. You know what I'm saying? Decades. It's the same thing with Dr. York. He ain't exempt. He did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's different if they grown and you having sex with grown people and it's consensual to y'all. Y'all just a nasty nigga. You know what I'm saying? But these are kids. They can't consent to this. Ain't no 8-year-old boy consent to you touching his butt. Come back straight up. Sure, Pastor. I think I'll enjoy that. Ain't no 9-year-old girl consent to Dr. York laying with her. Yes, sir. I would like to use my virginity today. I haven't began my menstrual cycle yet, but I think this is a perfect thing for us to do. Though you're 52 years old. Like I said, stop it, Dr. Malachi. It's not again. It's not what I'm saying. You can say it in a joke and laugh at the same time. These are kids, though. Someone got no remorse for that because they can't consent. You know what I'm saying? The master said, if you offend any little one that believes in me, it's better a millstone be hung from your neck. Nigga, I'm praying for this nigga. You know what I'm saying? I ain't like that. I ain't gonna jump up and down. Yeah. That don't mean I ain't got no love. How am I have love for a wicked bastard? Don't Yahuwah say he hate the wicked every day? Ain't that what the book say? I hate him too. You know what I'm saying? I hate him too. Because guess what? You know the main reason why I ain't got no love for this nigga when it comes to that particular topic? Because when he was exposed for touching these children, he did not accept culpability for his actions. He denied it or he tried to push the blame off on the kids. Type of grown nigga sending pictures of himself in spandex to another man. A little boy at that. That's what that nigga get for letting the white folks carry him around on that throne. Y'all ain't never see that video of this nigga, they were carrying this nigga around on the throne.
Yeah, Jewish.
Yeah, the white folks can't do that. That church man gave him a handwritten Torah scroll.
That was after all that happened.
Yeah, this after he done touched it. Came like,
Somebody restored.
They were restoring him. Who restored this thing? And they got him on a throne. Oh, you ought to go to hell. You blaspheming bastard. Because you not only did you not repent, but then you said, I've been restored to what throne? You're just a preacher, sir. You're just a preacher. What throne do you have? Come on, bro.
1 John verse 7. 1 verse 7.
1 John chapter 1, verse 7.
But if we walk in the light as he is in the
If
light,
we walk in faith as he is in faith,
we have fellowship one another.
we can become one with him.
And the blood of Yahushua Mashiach, his
Will
son,
cleanse us from
cleanse
what?
us from all sins.
See this again, this will make you not naked. Your expectation would be salvation at this time. Go ahead.
If we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves,
You lie to yourself.
and the truth is not in us.
It ain't in you.
If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive our sins and to cleanse us
From all unrighteousness.
from all unrighteousness. If we say that we have not sinned, we make him a liar, and the word is not in us.
We have to sit back, we have to think about it. Now, when you look at the master leading people away to their expectation, Revelation chapter 20 and verse 12. Let's look at him leading away to their expectation. I'm going to read as many as Isaiah chapter 30 while he's doing that, right? Where we start at?
Revelation
20 and 12. I'm reading verse 4 right in Isaiah 30, right? He says, for the princes were at Zoan, and his ambassadors came to Haman. They were all ashamed of a people that could not profit them, nor be in help nor profit, but a shame and also a reproach. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what he said Egypt would end up being to those men who were naked and barefooted to be their shame. See, sin gonna end up being your shame. And he gonna lead you away to it. Revelation 22.
What'd you say, Revelation?
20 and 12.
Yeah, 20 and 12.
But you gotta remember now, if you walking around naked and barefoot and the king of Assyria or the king of the earth or talking about the master Yahweh shall lead you away, you know what your expectation is. Like you mentioned that Revelation 16, he said you better keep your garments lest you walk naked and we see your shame. Because see, now your covering will be the Ruach HaKodesh and your sins will be covered and you wouldn't be walking around naked and barefoot. You understand what I'm saying? See, now you want to be covered in this man's Ruach. That's why he say they seek the covering, but not of my Ruach, not of my spirit. You got this man's spirit. You ain't naked and barefoot. The master walked around naked and barefoot to expose those who were naked and barefoot. So your sins could be shown. That if you seen your sins, you would repent from them. And then when you would repent from them, you would be covered by him. See, we don't want to do that. That sounds too much like right. Go ahead.
Revelation
look
20.
what your expectation gonna be. Revelation 20 and 12. Let's look what your expectation gonna be.
And I saw the dead, the small, and the great stand before Elohim. And the books was open, and another was open,
And another was open.
which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works.
According to their what?
According to their works.
Whatever.
And the sea gave up the dead which were in it. And death and Sheol delivered up Sheol, death, which were in them, and they were judged every man according to their works.
You're going to be judged according to everything you did in this body, whether it be good or whether it be evil. And just like Paul wrote to the Corinthians, us knowing the terror of the master, we persuade men everywhere. You know what I'm saying? To repent, we persuade men everywhere because you're going to answer. So you can allow this man to blot out your sins and transgressions where he remembers them no more and then never be mentioned unto you ever again in life. Because no one understands that if you repent in fullness, this man will not make mention of nothing that you have done. All that stuff talking about. That's why when you say if you confess your sins, he's just to forgive you, you get immersed to confess your sins. Once you do that there and you done went in that water, it's symbolic of going in that grave, and then you come about that water symbolic of living in newness of life, that man ain't talking about that no more. It ain't gonna be like, yeah, you remember that thing you did January 19th, 2003? That man ain't gonna mention that. Or remember that lie you told? That man not gonna mention that. All that stuff is gone. But if you didn't come up out of there with the means of becoming a new creature, that man remembers all of that. You know what I'm saying? When you say old things have passed away, so I mean, when you become a new creature, all them sins are forgotten. That man is not gonna mention that. But if you ain't become a new creature, you say, yeah, well, I remember that nigga did that there. I'm gonna kill that nigga. That's how you have to look at it. Because that man's dead serious about that. He does not make mention of sins once he's forgiven. You don't see him making mention to David about what he did. Even when he talked about it, he say David only went out the way to save in one matter. That matter was that he didn't go in a great deep. That nasty nigga, he do none of that. Did he do that though? He didn't do none of that. Even with Yasharah, the only reason why he kept mentioning what we did because we kept doing it. Because we kept doing it. He had to keep running your sins down because you kept doing it. You stop doing it, he ain't gonna talk about it anymore. Because it's gone, it's cleansed, it's removed. That's what you want. That man was manifested for the remission of sins. So these sins wouldn't be mentioned under you no more. That's why I mentioned that on there. We shouldn't be ridiculing and messing with somebody, even though the nigga's funny. Like, his mannerisms are funny. The nigga trying to not to be a homosexual. Now, they don't matter. They did it with that Antoine Dodson nigga, too. You know what I'm saying? If the nigga don't want to be a punk no more, hey, man, support that man and not want to be no punk no more. He doing better than some of you niggas. Some of you niggas ain't even trying to stop doing what you're doing. And he got a real live perversity on him. Because this man like men. You know how wicked your mind got to be to think it's acceptable to go lay with a dude? And you a dude? But you want to pick on him, but you don't want to pick on your homeboy who you kick it with every spot, who you know knock it down plenty of. You won't say nothing about him. Stay strong, pal. No, you get your nasty brother away from me. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't talking about you used to do it. I'm talking about you know some niggas still doing it. I know I ain't lying. Boy, this niggas still doing it, and niggas look at him like it's him. Keep the faith, brother. Stay strong, you know what I'm saying? See, it ain't right for us to condemn nobody. I ain't condemning this nigga. Nigga, stop doing what you're doing. I didn't sit and tell you. You already know you're going to hell today. I don't have to tell you that. But nobody said, everybody's quiet. But let a punk say he don't want to be a punk no more, and everybody got something to say. I mean, that's a hard road, but I would be getting past it. You know what I'm talking about? Because you never should have got started. You know what I'm talking about? Never should have got started. I don't know how you thought that was cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you thought that was cool. Like, this is a great idea. But like, this man is not. Oh, for real? Go ahead. I ain't no same difference with two women on this, especially these women nowadays. These guys go walk around with a strap on and they under their clothes. With a strap on under your clothes, that's not your penis. You call that from the store.
You gotta take it home.
You see that video? How much penis you want? How much you want? That's not yours. You might want a real one. Not one made out of plastic. She might get disease. You talking with that. Around here, gotta have allergic reaction to plastic. I'm allergic. You know how backwards your mind got to be? You don't want a man, but you're gonna have sex with a woman with a facsimile of male genitalia. Come on, bro. This nigga Young and made the song talking about she moan while getting hit. You don't have a penis. You don't have that. You're imaginary penis. You don't have a penis, man. You're a woman. You are a woman. And you get reminded of this every 30 days. Every 30 days, the Most High reminds you, you are a woman. You ain't too much of a man when you got to go to that aisle and get them always, nigga. Wings. Go ahead.
And death and Sheol were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire.
That's their expectation. That's their expectation because they exposed. This man said he coming back to judge all sinners and all that offend, right? We'll finish in Revelation chapter 6, verse 15. Make it 12. Sure, then make it 10 and run off. Revelation 6 and 10.
And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Master, Kodesh and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And the white robes were given unto every one of them. And it was said unto them that they should rest yet a little while, for a little season, unto their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed, as they were, should be fulfilled. And I beheld, when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and of the moon became as blood.
As blood.
And the stars.
Remember in Matthew 24, we read it last night, he said all the tribes of the earth will mourn. Because that's their expectation. Their expectation is death. They know what they're going to get. See, our expectation is life. Go ahead.
And the stars of Shamaim fell into the earth, even as a fig tree cast of her untimely figs, when she was shaken of a mighty wind. And the Shemaim departed as a scroll,
As a what?
as a scroll,
What else?
when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich man, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said unto the mountains
What did
and
they say to the
rocks,
mountains?
fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth
But
on
they
the
asking how are
throne,
we gonna escape, right?
Mhm.
Go ahead.
and from the wrath of the Lamb, for the great day of his wrath is come.
And then they say in that day they was gonna ask how they was gonna escape.
Mhm.
Now I'm gonna ask y'all a question, right? What's the only way you're gonna be able to escape?
Escape what?
What he said, they said how they gonna be able to escape if he led away naked and barefoot, right? He just said how are we gonna be able to get away from the wrath of the Lamb? What's the only way you're gonna be able to escape? Get Mark chapter 1, verse 14. And we'll start with that. This is the only way you're gonna be able to escape. See, they asking for the way to escape when he healed. Can't do that in. Read it, Mark 1 and 14. What's the only way you're gonna be able to escape?
Now after Yahushua was put into prison, Yahusha came into Galilee, preaching the gospel of the kingdom of Elohim, and saying, the time is fulfilled, and the kingdom of Elohim is at hand. Repent
Do what?
ye. He said, repent ye.
Do what?
Repent ye,
And what else?
and believe the
And do
gospel.
what?
And believe the
That's the only
gospel.
way you're gonna escape. You're gonna have to turn from your sins and transgressions and believe the word. That is the only way you are going to escape. So hallelujah for Yahushua. You stop right now. You stop right now. Everybody.